Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Andaron Saga. Hello, Kuda, Bowie, Quentin. What chapter am I on? We are just about to start chapter 20, which, as far as I understand, is the Timayat arc, which I am super excited for. Bowie, you're playing Warsong, so you'll just drop by and listen? Well, that's totally cool. I've played a good amount of Warsong. I didn't love it. Like, I like a lot of the things that it's trying to do, but I didn't love it, unfortunately. Let me know what you think. I know Warsong 2 just came out, I think, so I'm still willing to give that a shot. Might do that soon. Alright, let's see here. Also, I know the title says streaming with Clock, but he is still asleep, so we can clown on him when he gets here. But it's not that big a deal. Hey, Sergio, good to see ya. Chapter 20, Pyrion's Envoy. Now, I know this was, goodness, my voice going. I know this was Clock's least favorite arc, he said, so I don't know if the two are related, but, I don't know that they're unrelated either. Oh, I have Discord messages. Is that Clock? Oh, it is Clock.
It is me. Hey, I just woke up. Totally forgot about this.
Hey, wow, perfect.
Looks like you just started.
Yep. I was running a couple minutes late. I was literally just saying, like, the Timayat arc he said was his least favorite arc. Is this unrelated that he's running behind?
No, so here's the story. I played a game called Soulstone Survivors yesterday for 17 hours straight. Wow. I was hyperfixated. I got completely addicted. Totally forgot this was a thing.
That is quite the endorsement of that game.
Yeah, I was just sitting there, like, I was at 4 a.m. and I was like, I think I need to go to bed. And the instant I hit the pillow, I was dead to the world.
Yup. I had a super busy day yesterday. I went out and got the keys to my new house.
Ooh, very nice.
So I'm super excited. And then I went to the nightclub and hung out with friends until 5 a.m.
Okay, well, I guess we have similar mindsets.
So, yeah, I rolled out of bed this morning like, I was going to be like in this big oversized t-shirt and having a comfy day, but then it's white and I put it on and my lighting didn't like that.
Are you going to do a Cribs show off for your channel or anything like that?
Probably not. I don't like to... I don't know. I like to keep some things kind of private, so probably not.
Yeah, but you got to do like the dramatic camera zoom-ins and everything. Hire like a voice narrator for it.
You might get an office tour, but I think that's probably going to be about it.
That's fine. All right, you also gotta stream the video to me too.
Oh, yep. I totally forgot that.
That's fine. I almost forgot to show up, so you know.
There we go.
All right, let's have a look. Okay, here we go.
Your favorite part of the game.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Where am I? Jakka, you're finally awake. Come sit by the campfire. Oh, you can't do this to me. Sam's telling war stories. Bodymon? What's wrong? Didn't sleep well? Maybe you saw a ghost. You look famished. I made stew. Want some? Ayla, Also, that would already hit harder if she had died.
Yeah.
And then we rode into their camp during the cover of night. With jars of oil and torches, we set their siege weapons ablaze. By the time they sounded their alarm, we had run like the wind. The flames blazed, spreading all around the enemy's camp. Without their trebuchets and rams, they could not continue. Thus, the siege of Holtmeyer was finally lifted. What a great story, Grampy. It's always so exciting. Jakka, tell us the story of how you and Bod met. It's my favorite. Well, I suppose. What's wrong, Jakka? Tell us the story. Yes, Jakka, we want to hear all about it. Tell us the story of how your friend died. Oh. Huh?
Uh-oh.
What are you... It's a nightmare! You were supposed to keep me alive. Why couldn't you save me? We've all suffered because of you. What? It wasn't my fault. Sure, keep telling yourself that, pal. You promised to keep Ailanda safe. And what about my little brother, the man you swore you would kill? Mortimer still sits on the throne. He rules Andaron, my country. Bod, you never wanted the throne. Is that the excuse you tell yourself? So you can sleep better at night? To think I called you my brother. What? Where did everyone... Bod? Anyone? Don't leave me. Oh man. Please.
So, so that scene right there, obviously that's him having nightmares and stuff.
Yeah.
When we first enter this arc, I actually think that's a great introduction to this arc. I don't know if I would have written it exactly like that, but that's pretty close to what I would have gone for if I was thinking we need to have him starting to suffer from PTSD or something like that to show like all of the recent events have gotten to him.
Yeah.
So that's a really good introduction to the Timaeus arc.
Yeah, I like that. Jakka, there's someone here to see you. What? Someone to see me? They say it's important. Fine, give me a moment. The cozy campfire stuff juxtaposed with the snow outside is something. Greetings, Jakka. You look terrible. Jaheira, welcome back. It's been a while. Not for a dragon. You do enjoy longer lives than us humans. So how are things going in Timaeus? Yeah, that's a little awkward. Like, we've pretty well established that.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those, during the Timaeus arc, the biggest issue is, so it's not that I didn't write any dialogue for this. What I didn't do was any heavy rewriting at all of anything. So I cleaned up some dialogue. I mean, I cleaned up most of the dialogue as best as I could, but I kind of skimmed it. So there's a few typos, I think, in a few places, which is very out of character in this ROM hack.
Yeah.
I didn't do, like, sometimes when you sit down in the Hornheim arc, for example, I did a lot of rewriting with Skilla. I completely changed a bunch of her motivations. I changed how Jakka acts toward her, and I changed a lot of the context of dialogue too, so that way Jakka was more jokey in some parts, more serious in others. Jakka's kind of a robot in Timaeus. I think you'll get that impression as you go through. He just kind of doesn't feel like normal Jakka.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably be sensitive to that now, but we'll see. Is Tintaris doing alright? That's why I've come. The coup is happening. Ilrodan has decided to strike at Tindaris. Strike at him, huh? Do you mean metaphorically? No, King Bathu is dead, but before his body cooled, Ilrodan attacked. So the dragons are warm-blooded.
They're hot-blooded.
The prince's support was greater than we anticipated. A civil war now rages. King Tindaris fights for his life. So, you Scalies are killing each other? How's that my problem? Because I've come to ask for your support. Come with me to Timaeus and join in the fight. Help Tindaris defend the throne against his usurper of a brother. You want me to risk my life for a guy I met once, briefly? Once the battle ends and Tindaris wins, do you think he will forget his friends? If not for that, then help us fight a brother plotting to seize the crown. Surely that must be a situation you're able to sympathize with. You make a convincing argument, Jaheira. However, if you want us to go and help, you have to promise me something first. Speak your mind. If we help Tindaris, he must pledge his support to me. He must help me when the time comes to bring down Mortimer. Tindaris already said as much. He has no love for Mortimer. We have reason to believe he played a hand in this coup. He was the one who spread the false intel about the forts, luring you and Bodymon into the Emperor Mountains to be attacked. We believe Mortimer meant to try and instigate a war with Timea. Thanks to your efforts, however, that plan was thwarted. If Mortimer wants Il-Rodan on the throne, then maybe they are already allies. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting from that. If that is the case, I need no further convincing. My men will go with you. Killing Il-Rodan will weaken Mortimer. Excellent, Andaris will be pleased. Well done on becoming the Icebreaker Jarl, Ralphir. Oh, that's interesting. We're gonna have like a talk about this. I'm sure your father would be proud of you today. Thank you for your kind words, Sir Jakka. I've heard you're about to leave Hornheim? Me and my mercenary corps. Too bad you can't come with us. Huh? Who says? Just because I'm a Jarl, you think I'm stuck here? I can leave if I want. Besides, I'm not yet strong enough. I need to travel the world and get stronger, like a warrior. I only lucked out in beating Tiranar. You helped me a lot. Now it's my turn to help you beat that Mortimer guy up. Like you've said, Dorman's son always pays his debts. Has he said that?
I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure he said that during his Jarl speech.
Okay. You're dang right, so don't think of leaving me behind. Wouldn't dream of it. Thanks for joining us, Ralphir. So is this a conversation that happens with whoever became Jarl?
Yes, and I was just going to say, too. So there aren't very many of these. I wish there were more. But there are speeches where each Jarl speaks in a very specific context. I went to a good deal of effort, not a lot, because they're not very long, but I went to a certain deal of effort rewriting all of them, so that way the Jarls have unique dialogue that reflects their personalities. Originally, they had the same very generic dialogue, and I said, nah, we got to do better than that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested what Sigrid would have said here. I gotta go kill the bad guys. I'll be leaving Hornheim, Helga. My men going to Timea to fight. Yeah, there's one.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, how about that?
You got your notepad out?
Nope.
Okay.
Not gonna even bother.
I suppose this is where we must finally part ways. Unfortunately, you don't understand my situation. I broke my life vein to keep Lady Yolanda alive. I have to stay by her side for the rest of our lives. Though we'll both die soon, we have a few years at most. What, really? Is your situation that dire? Can't a healer help you in some way? I'm afraid not, but don't worry. I've made peace with my condition. It was necessary to save Yolanda's life, after I failed her so badly. Sister, I have to stay close to Yolanda, lest the distance break our spirit bond. So don't worry, I have to come with you, whether I want to or not. You sacrificed so much, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so I will say this. In the original version of the script, obviously, Yolanda died.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best thing about keeping her alive, well, there's two best things, but my favorite thing is, before this, Helga was completely superfluous. She joins Jakka for basically no reason, and it didn't really make any sense, and then she was in pretty much all the dialogue after this point, and it didn't really make much sense.
Yeah.
So I think her having to be here for Yolanda's sake makes her a lot more compelling as a character, because it also shows like what a compassionate character she is, because even though she acts all tough and like a boss lady on the surface, she did end up basically throwing away the rest of her life for a virtual stranger that she only knew for 6 months. I think that says something.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, if would you do that in her situation? You might say you would, but it's one of those things where it would be really hard to tell until you were put in that situation. Yeah,
very much. A lot of the times I answer questions like that with an, I like to think so. I don't know, but I like to think so.
I like to think I'm very kind and compassionate, but I don't know if I'd give up, if I'd shorten 40 years to 2 or 3 for a complete stranger. It's hard to say.
Yeah, definitely would have had to make an impression on me, that's for sure. A simple thank you is fine. Then, thank you, Helga. I don't know, surely after we become king or something, there's somebody that can help her. Pipsqueak. Come to see us off, Halfdan. No, I've come to join you. You wish to leave Hornheim? I heard you're going to fight the dragons of the East. They sound like worthy foes to test my axe against. Maybe I will find the death I've been looking for there. You are a ferocious fighter, Halfdan. I'll be happy to have you with us. Wah ha ha, I'll show these scaly wyverns what true strength looks like.
Another thing to watch out for, if you want to be able to tell what dialogue I wrote versus what dialogue Mengs wrote, I can give you a quick mental list of things. One of them is contractions. Yep. Mengs doesn't really use a lot of contractions, so if you see you are instead of your, that's probably Mengs. If you see, like, I'll just point them out as we come across them.
Alright. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. I think we've talked about that in an earlier episode. That.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bad memory.
I'm also, I've worked on some translation teams and stuff as an editor, and I've definitely had to harp on, like, we use contractions in English, like, in America, like, all the time. When we don't have enough, we invent new ones.
I invent new ones for my writing, too, all the time.
I'm in Texas, so we have y'all.
I love y'all. Sorry, I love y'all.
I do, too. But I'm also, like, of course I do, but... Using one of Helga's harriers, Jakka is able to send a letter. He reaches out to his old friend, who arrives by ship to escort him. Oh, is this, Aisha's guy again?
Yep.
Brandon. Sounds like you had quite the adventure. Sorry to hear about the princess, though. Will the child be okay? I don't know. Black magic is not my field of expertise. I choose to believe Skilla was not born a monster. She seemed to have a human side. Amon, how do you say his name? Amon?
I say Amon because I'm used to Avatar Korra, and that's the guy's name, the villain. His name is Amon, so that's what I go with.
I mean, Bodymon also, so.
True.
Amon will as well. Now you're off again to fight on another continent. This time for the bloody dragons and their royalty. Tell me, lad, have you got a death wish or something?
That's another one. That's another Mengsism, by the way, the word God. He uses God a lot.
I think he does speaking, too.
Yeah.
We have the support of Hornheim, if we can get Tamaid on our side. That's starting to look like an army that can challenge King Mortimer. You're really serious about this, lad, and a low-born mercenary against a king. Well, let me tell you about Tamaid. I've been there quite a few times. The Fireys are a savage and barking mad. All they want is to fight each other. Their priestesses will burn you on the stake if you disagree with them. Can't be any worse than the Vikings. Yeah, probably. All I can proclaim is, go there at your own peril. I hope this Dragon King is trustworthy. I don't like Scalies, but Tandarus seemed alright. I'm willing to take gambles if it means killing Mortimer. Just be careful, my boy. How's little Amon doing? I was finally able to feed him. I was worried he'd starve. I believe he'll be alright, Ayla. As will you. You just need time. I don't know, Jakka. I feel hollow, as if my energy is leaking out. I'll make sure we search the continent for healers to aid you. Whatever those dang witches did to you, we will fix it. And is that why we are headed to Tamaid? To find healers? That's not the main reason we're going. We need to save Tandarus from Ilrodan. It's weird that we already set out and he, didn't talk to her about that.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I will say this, by the way, and this is going to sound a little messed up. I think this is actually her cutest portrait, because it activates the must protect instincts.
Yeah, I can see that. The messy hair and stuff. It looks like she just woke up a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you precious girl, I want to give you a hug so bad.
I need his influence and power if I want any chance of going up against Mortimer. So what will happen to me and Amon? I'm too weak to fight anymore. You'll stay here with us, of course. I'll assign men to keep you safe. I won't ever leave you alone again. Are you sure I won't just be a burden to everyone around me? Just because you can't fight anymore doesn't mean you've become a burden. Besides, you have to focus on taking care of Amon, right? I won't let Bodymon's wife and child suffer under my watch. 1 week later, Jakka and his men arrive in Tamaid by ship. Quentin says Jakka is a wanted man. Seems to be. They cannot sail on the inland lava rivers, so they disembark. Yeah, that makes sense.
Really? No kidding.
Thus far, they've not seen any signs of fighting.
I'm pretty sure you couldn't sail on a lava river anyway, just because they're, like, ridiculously thick. They are very viscous.
Yeah, you can, though, if it looks cool.
Yeah, like a Sonic X or something like that.
Yup.
Surfboarding.
You always have to have that rule of cool exception. This heat is unbearable. How can anything survive here? We Firies evolved to resist the heat over several millennia. Maybe you humans are simply a bunch of softskins. At least we have tact.
So
yeah, we've seen a lot of that from humans.
So one important thing to note about this arc, if I had actually had the time to write this arc out, this would have been a very important arc in Jakka's journey.
Yeah.
Because this would be the one where he starts really confronting his racism. But unfortunately, he remains pretty much a static character for this entire thing, and he never really gets over the racism at all. And because it would be very awkward for him to be static all the way through, and then in the next arc, which I did write a lot of, for him to suddenly be like not racist or whatever, it would be really like jarring. So I had to take the precedent that this arc set for his character and kind of just stick with it for the rest of the game. So the expected resolution of that arc, or at least some sort of conflict with it, never happens. And that's a real big shame, I think.
Well, I also think that, unfortunately, that can be somewhat realistic from people that go to war with other countries. You know, you dehumanize your opponents a lot, I think, to be able to sleep at night, partially. And so, I don't know how many of the dragons are going to join our side, but I don't know. Like, maybe it still works. We'll see.
The problem is that in Andaron Saga, there are 3, maybe 4 or 5, like, points where Jakka says something like, "Hey, you Scalies aren't so bad" to one of the Firis. And when he does that, it feels like that's like the moment where he's finally starting to get over it, but then he regresses the next time we see him at whatever point. Like, it's not just during this arc, it's during earlier arcs and a couple later ones, too.
I see.
So, each time that happens, it kind of messes up the flow of what should be a more smooth character arc. This is something that you just, like, if you had time, or if we had time, I guess, another 6 months or 7 months or something like that, and then I was going back through the script from the start, and I knew where everything ended up, I could, like, pinpoint spots to rewrite and fix the flow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, Marcel Martin asks, is that Klokinator's beautiful voice?
It is. I don't know about beautiful, though. I just woke up, so I probably sound crazy raspy.
Oh, same. Like, my voice is really struggling today, but...
Oh, yeah, it's awful, dude. I hate listening. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Halt, human! Not another step! What is your purpose here? Stand down, soldier. You are speaking to a man serving our king. Now, I definitely have some appreciation that the first person we meet after we leave Viking land has horns on their helmet.
Yeah, now we bring in the horned helmets.
You are speaking to a man serving our king. And which king would that be? What do you mean, which king? Witch King is a Lord of the Rings thing. I'm just kidding.
Is it?
The Witch King.
The Witch King. I feel so silly.
Hello, Jaheira. How nice of you to bring us fresh kindling for our fires. Well, her art looks fantastic.
Yes, this character. So there were actually I wouldn't say 2 redesigns. She always looked like this, but the first thing was that when we first made her, she did not have a scar. We added the scar to show that she's burned. And then later on, we added the hair cowl on the back and the crown on top. Before this, she looked a lot more plain. Now she looks like, well, you'll see.
Ash, for you to come here, that can only mean... That's High Priestess Ash to you. Mind your etiquette. My devotion...
She got a glow up because of her promotion.
My devotion to Lord Pirion has earned me a promotion. Priestess or not, Pirion's church is supposed to act neutrally. You have no right to detain us. I serve the fire god. I have every right. So, you've decided to involve the church in a civil war. Oh, not at all. We still remain neutral. I am only here to repel these invaders. You did not ask permission to allow any foreign soldiers into our lands. These men are not invaders. They served King Tindaris. Looking at their unruly expressions, my intuition tells me you're lying. You've clearly defected to an enemy state and intend on attacking Tamayan. I have no such intentions, but you already know that, don't you? If you're so desperate to twist my words and fight, so be it. I never did like your perversion of the Fire God's ways. I don't know what you're talking about, but this brazen attack won't be ignored. In Pyrion's name, I sentence you to a funeral by pyre. All hail the Fire God.
Pyrion in a pyre, that's funny.
Yeah, I would think that, that would be a very inefficient way of dealing with dragon people.
You will burn! 8 hours later, wow, still alive, that's crazy.
I just realized I didn't have my chat on live chat, I had it on top chat, so hopefully I didn't miss any chat, but sorry about that, guys.
Let me switch to that. There we go.
Oh, you have a way with words. Those dang fire fanatics have been spouting nonsense for years. Tindaris would thank me if we crushed their whole church. You don't believe in the Fire God? I do, but these fools have long since twisted Pyrion's scripture to idiocy. The religion we follow now is a pale shadow of its glorious past. Just when you think you know the Scalies, they surprise you. That was a weird comment, did he know about the Fire God and stuff?
So this chapter, I will say this. I'm not really a fan at all of the overall story and some other stuff in this arc, but I like this chapter a lot. This chapter's a lot of fun to play.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if this is one of the top 10 best chapters in the game because there are a lot of good chapters in this game, but this is a really good mellow chapter, especially after the insanity of the last several.
I see.
But there's also a really fun gimmick here. Chess keys. You won't need any chess keys. There's no fog of war here, so okay. In fact, there won't be any fog of war for several chapters.
I don't mind that. Meng seems to really like fog of war.
Yeah, so someone did a count. 13 of the 31 chapters have some form of fog of war, and 6 of those chapters are pitch black fog of war.
I see. He's gonna need a hand axe. Let's see.
And there's 2 instances of back-to-back fog of war, too, which I think sucks.
I don't know. Some people really like fog of war, so, it's probably all personal taste.
To be fair, Mings plays a lot of, well, he likes Thracia a lot, and I actually love Thracia. You know, there's a lot of people who complain about the gameplay in Andaron Saga. They don't like the gimmicks. One of the chapters in the game that draws the most scrutiny is Chapter 24. It is Chapter 24. We'll talk about that chapter when you get to it. I actually really like Chapter 24, despite all of the gimmicks and all of the BS that happens there.
I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of gimmick chapters and really hard, grueling chapters. I actually like them. Yeah, I don't have any issue with them.
I would rather him have at least one lighter axe.
How much con does he have?
I don't know.
Because he's gotten 3 promotions now, so
15.
He's got 15 cons, so he can wield pretty much anything.
Okay. We're gonna steal axe then. Let's see. Christina's gonna need some new stuff.
Christina's popping off.
Yeah, she definitely is.
So while you're doing this, I'm going to talk about some of the story, the overall story changes I'm planning to make on Andaron Saga LT. That's my remake. One of them is
for the audience that has not watched previous parts.
That's correct. Yes, it's not a ROM hack. It's a full custom game engine made in Python. So there's going to be 2 versions of the game. Advanced Edition, which is basically a port of Andaron Saga into the engine with new stuff added. But I am not going to be changing the order of any chapters. I'm not going to be changing the flow of the game or adding new chapters or anything like that. It's going to be basically the same game with just new content. I am going to swap some characters around, add some new characters, make some other characters who were previously not playable.
Are you going to add any more secrets?
Lots more, but I'm not going to be doing what Mangs did because I don't like the random chance secrets that are in the game. I don't like the 1%, 2%,
You know,
3% secrets.
I'm gonna differ from you on that. I think that adds like really unique, like, I might up it to like 10 or 20%, but I think it adds a really unique flair to each playthrough. And I'm also keeping in mind that like I miss I miss before we had internet. You know, like in some ways, not always, but in some ways I really do. Because it's really cool, like, you know, if you were out at the playground and you're like, guys, last night I was playing Andaron Saga, and you're not gonna believe this, but like this.
Mortimer actually said it's Morton time. I was gonna say something, but I realized that would be a curse. I crap you not. He really said it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But I'm just talking about like before the internet, like, you know, can you imagine a kid on the playground playing this and then coming out there and being like, guys, you're not gonna believe this, but like, there's this guy in a jail cell and his name is Crixus. And like, it would just spark this whole thing, like when we thought Sonic was a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's and true. Like, we had all this debate and people be wondering what triggers it. Like, you have to leave the game running for 24 hours and then start the chapter.
I need to make something clear, though. I'm talking about the random secret events. I like secrets. I like it when you can get the secrets. I like it when you can get the secrets through hard work or serious effort or something like that. I like all of those. So I would be replacing all of them with like conditions that you have to fulfill that are really stringent that you can't get by accident easily. You'd have to get it if you were doing some sort of dedicated play style. Then you would get it by accident. I was thinking about which one to actually even mention as an example. So people are talking right now about being able to recruit Astrid. So I don't know if I would make her playable or not. She's one of the characters from the arena with Tiranar. She's the blind woman.
Yeah. And
there's been a meme on the Discord for a while about making Astrid playable. And so if I were to do that, it wouldn't just be like a random chance that she joins you, because that feels really crappy. I would make it so that way if you follow a set of very specific conditions, then she would become playable. But of course, adding a new playable character is a bit rough, because every time you do that, you have to consider all of the dialogue you're going to add for them and some other stuff like that, so it's never as simple as it sounds.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But here's another example. So I want to add a crud load of optional endings. I want to add an ending, for example, where Botamon survives if you follow like a set of very stringent things. Like, for example, he has to be level 20, he has to have an A support with Samuel, etc., etc. And if you do that,
is there anybody that I need to bring?
So this map doesn't have anything special like that. If you bring Jaheira, there's one village, I don't remember which one, that she can visit. It's like one of the big villages, like that one or the other one. And if she does, she has a unique conversation there. And if you bring Estelle or Elmer, they have a unique talk at the bottom middle house with Ferdinand.
I assumed. I don't think we can bring them though, because they would get wrecked.
No, you don't need to. It's just like a fun thing. He gives them a unique item, which is only useful like if you're actually planning to use them and you're not. So
I see.
That's a second playthrough thing.
All right, I want you to keep talking about what you're going to add, but we're going to do the dialogue real quick because we are ready to go.
Okay.
And I will save.
Oh, okay. So before you start, I want to tell you about the gimmick for this chapter. Okay. So the gimmick for this chapter is Ash. She throws a freaking meteor at you. After a certain number of turns, the meteor has 3 to 15 range, and if you kill her, she revives a few times. I don't remember how many. It may be 3, it may be 4, but she revives a few times and teleports elsewhere on the map in the lava. So you need to rush her down and kill her, and you need to be prepared for her to teleport somewhere else and then do it again. You're on normal mode, so the turn requirements for her to throw the meteor are very forgiving, yes. So you don't need to worry about it too much, but you do want to send some fast, strong units her way.
Alright, we will send... I mean, probably these two.
Yeah, Helga can zip around super duper fast, too.
I want to give her, like, one regular spell, too.
And do you have any stat boosters to use?
I have a ton. Like a million.
Let's take a look at your stat boosters. Probably on
We're gonna
flux
have that
or fire.
as an option. Because she has a lot of dark magic. Yeah, we'll get rid of that, and then we'll buy a flux too. Alright.
This is a chapter, by the way, so
Alright,
ice magic.
Whoops.
Ice magic is super effective against dragons. So you've
Okay.
got Sham. This is a chapter where you bust out the glacies and the his other ice tome, whatever it's called. Not glacies.
Hoarfrost?
Hoarfrost, yeah. You're going to use Hoarfrost a lot here. Wind is effective against flyers. There are a lot of dragons here, so wind is a good option for hitting flyers.
Okay. Maybe... Well, we can't buy one.
No. There's probably a shop somewhere on this chapter, like, near the beginning, too.
Probably. Yeah, she's looking okay. Stat boosters. I haven't used any yet, so we have a good amount.
You have a crap ton. Oh, wow. So many. This is great. Scroll down to the bottom, too. Because you have smaller ones at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, you got white gems and blue gems,
Yep.
too. That's great.
Oh, holy symbol. We should give that to somebody, too.
Do you have anyone who still needs to be promoted? I don't think you do.
I don't think so. Nope.
Yeah, go down to one of your bottom
Shakira's
characters.
promoted now, yeah.
Yeah, go down to one of your bottom characters that you're not using. You're going to want to do some swapping real quick, like Harriet or whoever. And you're going to want to just sell all the gems and then sell anything that requires money. Because on the guidance that are coming up, you can actually buy things that are on them, but you can't do it if you don't have any money, and you can't take stuff out of the convoy to do it very easily. So it's a good idea to do it here.
Alright. There we go.
So it's nice to see money go up.
It is. Stonks. I think that's it.
No, you had a bunch of master seals too.
Oh, should I sell those?
Oh yeah, all of them. You're not going to use them anymore.
You sure? I won't get any other characters that are unpromoted?
You'll get more master seals. Like, you get a crap ton of master seals. So if you really need more, you'll get more.
I'm gonna hang on to one.
Okay, that's fine.
It makes me feel better. Alright.
There are no more unpromoted units past this point in the game.
Alright, I think that's everything.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Now, because you have so many of these stat boosters, this is a good time to use them. You don't really, like, need to use them. There is one character, it's Tendaris. You'll get him in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He starts out kind of weak, but you can use, like, all the stat boosters on him to give him a big buff if you want.
Ooh,
if you have any other characters like Ralfnir, you did the Ralfnir blast to get him up. What's his stats looking like? Yeah, he could probably use like a bunch of resistance. Resistance goes really hard in this one, so
yeah.
Maybe consider like giving him all of the resistance boosters.
So that is
Talisman.
okay. So we'll use that. Use.
And he can also there should be some more at the bottom.
Yeah. I saw those.
It's like the white shard.
Yeah, we'll give him one of those, I think. And then I think we also take...
His skill is looking pretty bad too.
Okay, we can do that. That is...
The secret book.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Ralfnir, even if you train him really heavily, his growths are really bad.
Yeah, I was noticing. There we go. And then we're also, for this chapter, going to give him one of our holy waters, because that's res.
That's true.
Alright.
That should be good.
I think so. Is there anybody else that I just really want to give some stats to?
Well, Jakka with res, Never a bad idea.
Yeah.
His strength, your Jakka seems like his strength isn't going very high, actually.
Yeah, we'll give him the energy ring. Just a little bit of catch up.
There's more res at the bottom for sure. I remember you have one more white shard.
Yeah. See, I'm used to Shining Force where you don't want to do this till, like, the end of the game. Because then it, like, the game checks kind of where you are on average, and if your stats are higher, you'll get worse level ups, because it's like, oh, you're doing fine.
Hmm.
He's got a ton of HP.
Are you using Theodore?
Not really.
Okay.
Alright, is there anybody else that I really want to give a little bit of buff to?
Oh, you just got Jaheira back.
Yeah.
She is going to level up super duper fast here. Like, she's going to get so many kills. Oh, are you using Garum?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you ever, in the future, you're doing a playthrough for yourself, and you decide to do one of the blast strategies, which is to kill Leonora.
Yeah.
If you do that, I like to give Garum pretty much, not all of them, but pretty much every single stat booster at that point in the game, because first off, his growths aren't very good, but if you use him, he can use Ash Cleaver early, and he can snowball really, really hard. He's like a really good, just like generic, give him all the stat boosters candidate.
I think we're good for now.
Okay.
On to the battle. Quentin can picture it now. Queen Ayla and Prince Aemon of Andaron.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like Petrine to the far right from Path of Radiance.
So, if you killed Leonora, she would not appear in this dialogue.
I see.
And this dialogue is pretty different.
It'd be her sister, right?
Yeah, these three are all sisters.
Oh, okay. Leonora, Miriam, it's always a delight to see you two. Seems Jaheira was able to dig up a savior for Tindaris. It matters not, dear sister, they will burn all the same. Those are the mercenaries who fought under Prince Bodymon. I'd be careful underestimating them if I were you, Ash. Let's not forget how badly they embarrassed Leonora. Watch your mouth, Miriam. Adrian didn't mount your head on a spike for that failure. He must favor you quite a bit to show such leniency, eh? Shut up. Go take a squadron of wyverns and deal with Jakka. Get out of my face with your barbed tongue. Seems I struck a nerve. Ash, Lenora, I'll be seeing you. Unlike some people, I actually know how to do my job. Very sibling dialogue. Still
I did some rewriting on this. So I did a lot of rewriting for Ash because I wanted Ash and Miriam to have more distinct personalities than what they had before.
Okay. Still not getting along with elder sister, Sassy wench. Imagine a coward like Miriam thinking she's hot stuff. Watch your back. She's far from the most loyal of us three. Miriam does have a way of turning tail when the going gets rough. But as long as you're around to keep her in line, she'll be fine. Take care of Jakka quickly, little sister. Adrian needs me to deal with Tindaris. Okay, bye-bye.
I picture Ash as being extremely chipper, like very, very happy.
Servants of fire, come to me.
So she summons flame wisps, and she gets meteor. Those are like her two big character niches.
Interesting.
This counts for when you recruit her too, which you're not gonna do on this run, unfortunately.
Oh, Ash?
Yep.
How do you do
that? If you kill Leonora, you can recruit Ash.
I see.
That's very hard to do.
A powerful priestess harboring an unhealthy obsession with fire. Yeah, that sounds really difficult. That would be the dream if Ayla became queen. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
No comment.
It's a dinosaur simulator, given authority says.
Huh.
I like the extra void down here.
Yeah, this chapter is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to be doing any backseat gaming.
All right.
I told you about the gimmicks. It's up to you to use your gamer brain.
I was like, oh, that's high crit, and then I was like, well, it's 1 damage.
Jakka, no!
Welcome to the Church of Pirion. We are servants of the Fire God. Please accept our hospitality and allow us to treat your injuries. We are aware that High Priestess Ash has declared you enemies. However, she does not speak for all of us here in the church. She may be our High Priestess, but her word is not the law. Only Pirion may decree the fate and punishment of the masses. Here, I want you to use this tome. It contains Pirion's might within. If he deems you worthy of wielding its power, use it to smite your foes. May the Fire God blaze a path for you and all your companions. I'm just, like, this is a little bit of, like, I'm just thinking of, like, the real-life equivalent of this. Like, yes, the Pope does not speak for all of us. Here, take this Glock. Like, it's a little bit strange.
Well, to be fair, the Pope also isn't very militant, I don't think. He's not setting up armies and stuff.
I believe historically it has happened.
I don't like the Pope. Here's a Glock. Go dome him.
She didn't say that. It was just, he doesn't speak for all of us. Here, take this Glock. I'm like, that's a really aggressive action for he doesn't speak for all of us. Like... I'm sorry, I find that, like, really funny.
I didn't really get to talk about it, so I'll continue what I was going on before.
Real quick, Elgesser asks, who's the oldest to youngest in order of the 3 sisters?
So Leonora's the oldest, Miriam's the middle, and Ash is the youngest, I do believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Locked into canon, quote him on everything. The wiki now has to be updated.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's certainly how I wrote it, but Mangs could, like, contradict me. I just got Miriam has those middle vibes, like she's only in control or whatever because her elder sister's around to keep her in line.
I see.
But yeah, so for my Lex Talionis remake, I was talking about this before. The Advanced Edition is just the game that we have right now, plus more content with maybe some character reworks and some other stuff. But after I finish that, I'm going to go through all of Advanced first to finish it first, because I want to have at least that finished. Then if I have time for it, I would work on Clock Edition. I don't know how long that would take. Clock Edition is going to be a lot more substantial. It may even involve deleting multiple entire chapters and adding new ones. But the idea is to completely rework pretty much the entire second half of the game. Specifically everything after Chapter 14, because everything up to Chapter 14 is perfect. I really like Hornheim, but the problem is, in this vaunted remake, I wouldn't really be able to keep Hornheim as the first arc, so I'd want Timaeus to come first. In this vanilla game, Timaeus is an assault arc. You are rushing to save Tendaris because he's already engaged in battle. I would change it to be a defense arc. You get to Tendaris immediately, it's very easy. There's no chapters of fighting to reach him because he's an ally that we set up like earlier on. So you reach him instead of going to Hornheim because he's the logical next step to go to.
Yeah.
But when you get there, he tells you that his brother is starting to make moves and he may need like Jakka's help or something like that. So if we do that, then you would have to help Tendaris defend his castle and maybe launch an assault instead on Il Rodan. Instead of, right now...
Just by the way, it is funny to me I can hurt these things with fire.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Shoot. Lost the thought.
Sorry. Attacking Il Rodan. Riding out to do that. I don't know if that...
I have ADHD, so when I forget something, it literally disappears from existence. It's the worst. Plus, I'm still very, very tired from staying up for 17 hours.
I would bet.
So yeah, we lead the attack on Il Rodan, and instead of being 3 chapters like Timaeus is right now, I would make Timaeus very core to the central story, because first off, it has a lot of themes with Jakka's racism against Scalies. If you do it earlier on, you get to deal with that and get that out of the way. You get to like advance his character arc right there. We probably wouldn't have Aelonda be in any danger in Hornheim, so Aelonda wouldn't have any of the... she wouldn't have any of the bad stuff happen to her that happens in this game. This is, of course, just Clock Edition. Advanced Edition, it all happens the way it happens here. But all this bad stuff wouldn't happen, and the baby would be probably not much of a subplot, honestly. Like, this is my version, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'm not super duper interested in the baby. It's literally just sequel bait, in my opinion. And there's a lot of really interesting sequel bait that we can put in that isn't the baby, so we don't really even need to worry about that too much. But instead of 3 chapters, I would make Timea maybe 6 chapters. Make it a core part of the story. At the same time, one big flaw in this second half of the game is that the noble houses of Andaron pretty much have no presence. They're not in Hornheim, they're not in Timaeus, and they're not in Styxia either. So for 3 entire arcs, like 9 chapters in total, we don't hear anything about the noble houses, and I think that sucks. So we would set it up so that way the noble houses are working with Ilrodan because they want to kill Jakka.
I see.
And so you'll be fighting more against those people to develop the noble houses a bit more. I think that would be a more interesting way to handle the situation. Also, Reaver weapons are very good here. Anyone who's weapon locked are very good. So if you have any axe, lance, sword locked units,
there we go.
Buy a couple for those units specifically. Longbows, very good.
I bought one. I could probably buy 2.
Yeah. How many bow units do you have?
Garum, Caroline.
Caroline has bows? I think she has anima, not bows.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't think you're
Ralph
using
Near?
Kurt. Oh, Ralphmere, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that.
2's fine. I think
Yeah.
2's fine.
Bjarki, I think. But yeah, we're alright. That seems like enough.
Being able to 3 range some of the bosses in late game, I'm thinking of one very specifically in Chapter 26, it's helpful.
I would imagine. Alright. I'm worried she doesn't throw like a fireball on turn 1, right?
Oh, no. It's very forgiving on normal. You'll know. She'll give you warning,
Okay.
and then it'll be like, go, 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 go!
Yeah, it's probably not smart to just have Fred charge into that.
How much resistance does Fred have?
Not as much as others.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's very volatile, which is gross. He only has 35 and everything. I think they, like in the latest patch, they may have buffed him to like 40 and everything. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, he was already one of the best units, I think.
Oh, he has 18 res? Dude, your Fred's actually pretty cracked on res.
Yeah.
For a physical unit to have 18, she only has 16, but
yeah.
she also gets +4.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that.
Delete.
Let's see. If you're not careful, this chapter can kill a bunch of units. I am always careful, man.
I have a new nickname for Ilrodan. Call him Ilrodent. I like that. So here's a fun fact for you guys, for all the people watching the stream. Originally, Ilrodan had a slightly but importantly different mug. His head was cocked back. He looked a lot slimier and sneakier. I had a real problem with that because he didn't feel like a threat at all. He felt like a whiny little brother. He's actually supposed to be older than Tendaris by almost 100 years.
I see.
And he did not feel like a major threat. He didn't feel charismatic. He felt like a whiny little brat that you just kind of had to deal with. So we remade his portrait for that reason.
Jakka, our enemy is Lady Ashe, a high-ranking fire priestess. We have to take this seriously. She's a terrifying opponent. She seems like any other magic wielder, if you ask me. What's so special about her? The fire priestess of Pyrrhion priestesses of Pyrrhion possess many mystical powers. They can walk on lava and call fire spirits to fight for them. Most terrifying of all, however, is their ability to call meteors. Meteors? In red text. If you see her channeling, you need to order your men to reach her position. Let her finish her spell, and it will be the end for one of your soldiers. She will be at her most vulnerable right before her spell finishes, so strike then. Sounds like we need to kill her quickly. I fear killing her once will not be enough. High priestesses can rise like phoenixes. they will rebirth from death several times. Luckily, a priestess's power wanes after each rebirth. Keep striking until she dies. Gotcha, lance through the heart, stab the broad a bunch of times. I can do that, easy peasy. Reminds me of, I'm reading, I posted in the Discord yesterday, or I think it was maybe 2 days ago. I'm reading, a Warhammer fantasy, like, vampire trilogy, and, I love that the vampires just refuse to die. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but one of the main ones has been killed, like, 3 or 4 times in the story so far, and they're like, yeah, he just, like, we, you know, pulverize his bones. And then at the next battle, he's just there leading the army again, like nothing happened. And it's like, I don't know what we have to do to get rid of this guy.
The rumors of my demise were greatly exaggerated.
It's been pretty fun so far.
Marcel Martin says, I heard Clock say there's going to be more black people in his version of the game. I don't know about that. It's not like any specific goal of mine. So the problem is, the black people country, so to speak, is Styxia. The problem is, I have 2 options for my version of the game. I either lean into Styxia more, because right now, as you'll see when you get there...
We've seen them in the Coronation, and that's about it.
Yeah, they feel very superfluous.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read this.
They do seem to. More dragons are on their way. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's all she says, okay. So Styxia feels very superfluous. I don't like the way Styxia is implemented in the game right now. I like the Styxian characters. I think the Styxian characters are great.
The designs are really nice.
They're undercooked, unfortunately. So the problem is that if I were to add more, I would want to integrate Styxia more. I do actually plan to add 1 or 2 more Styxian characters, but at the same time, if I do that, do I really want to delete Styxia from, like, my version? I don't know. I want to remove it just so that way there's more room to focus on Andaron, Timaeus, and maybe Hornheim. Like, all those 3, I think, should be the core of this game. You leave Styxia for the sequel, assuming the sequel gets made. And then in the sequel, Styxia can be a major player for that one. One thing I don't like is when you blow your load, you play all your cards too early.
Yeah, you're saying, like, when you explain everything and flesh out everything too early, and then you don't have that much intrigue left.
I went to a lot of trouble while I was writing in this game to add in lots of things that have no payoff at all. They are purely setup, and they're very vague setup too. They're the kind of setup that you can fill in later on. One of them, for example, is a lot of stuff to do with Joseph and Joseph's children. I left it very open-ended what his goals are, what he's planning to do with all this. So, does he play a large role in the sequel? Or maybe in a prequel? I don't know. You know, that would be up to Mangs or some other team, maybe my team later on, I don't know. But it would be up to someone to deal with that if they want, and to add stuff from it. There are lots of named characters that I drop that don't really show up in this game. In one early cutscene, Botamon talks about a couple of friends he lost that don't show up at all. Maybe in the Rebellion, those 2 friends show up in Mings' Rebellion prequel. That's up to him if he wants to do that, but I left lots of stuff like that deliberately because I want there to be room for things to be added later. I think one mistake a lot of amateur writers make is that they want to explain everything that's super cool about the world that they made, and if you do that too quickly, it leaves you no room to expand upon later on. In fact, I actually learned that trick from a YouTube channel called Plague of Gripes. He was talking specifically about Dragon Ball, and how in Dragon Ball, I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Super at all.
Thank you for the heads up, Elka. And real quick, Hayden says, "Oh boy, showed up just in time for the finale of Advance Force." Yes, yeah. I do get that one. I was thinking, like, this is definitely a Sturm Meteor reference. It has to be.
Yeah, Mings loves his Sturm and his Meteor, so I think
know
you're
he
right
does.
there.
So I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind that is the inspiration for this. But continue.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
You were talking about blowing your load too early, explaining everything too early.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was specifically talking about at the end, though. I'm telling you, dude, it vanishes. It's gone.
Sorry. You're talking about a story specifically, but now I've lost which one. Chat, help us out.
Chat, what was I talking about? Oh, no. Oh no, I better boot back up the stream.
Ooh, I like that portrait.
This is Ash, by the way. Ash originally had a much more generic portrait, and then we remade her about 3 months before release.
This is the original Ash portrait?
This is the new one.
Oh, she's just back?
No, she had a cruddy old one, which was just like Celine or whatever her name is from Fire Emblem 8.
Okay.
And it didn't look good. She had like a side view face. It just didn't look good. And then we totally remade her 3 months before release. This is her new one.
I see.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Dragon Ball. Okay,
Pardon me, I was just leaving. Don't let me get in your way. Wait,
this, by the way, this is the conversation that's unique with Jaheira.
I see. Oh, darn. You can tell me what it said before. Wait, you're one of the soldiers serving Tindaris, are you not? I may be a fire priestess, but I don't care much for this Ash. I may serve Ilrodan, but it would not be such a bad thing if something were to happen to her, if you get what I'm saying. This tome might help you a little, just don't tell anyone I did this.
Yeah, she just has a unique conversation because they know each other.
So what does she say?
I don't remember offhand.
Alright.
But they know each other, and they have like a little chat about allegiances and some other stuff. A little bit of interesting character building, I think.
That's cool.
So I was talking about Dragon Ball.
Yes.
So Plague of Gripes made a video.
I don't want to interrupt you again, but I have to. Because new people came in. So hey, Station Square, I'll be lurking today, but I'll be hearing you guys. Well, I appreciate you dropping by.
So I don't know if you watch Plague of Gripes or if you've watched Dragon Ball Super.
Never heard of him, but I watched all of Dragon Ball Super and I got thoughts.
Okay. So one thing he talks about in Dragon Ball Super, they introduce a multiverse with 7 alternate universes, 7 infinite possibilities, and Toriyama, I don't want to slander the man, okay? He made one of the most beloved anime series of all times, but he is a terrible world builder, not a terrible writer, a terrible world builder, because the first thing he does is he immediately puts all of the strongest dudes from all of the strongest universes together in one spot to have them kill each other.
Okay, real quick, this makes sense.
Oh yeah, him and Caroline?
Christina.
Oh, Christina, yeah. He likes the young ones.
Oh my god. He's young though, so...
Yeah, I know, that's why it's okay.
Yeah, I think we support them, because Christina doesn't have supports with anybody.
Yeah, it's up to you. This is purely a for fun run anyway, so...
Is it a good support?
I have no idea.
Let's do it. Hey there, you look to be around my age. What's your name? I'm Christina. You're Ralph Near. I've heard about you. What have you heard? That your dad died.
Wow.
Wow! Well, yes, that is true. I lost my dad too. How did he fall? He perished during a siege of a city. He tried to hold the gate by himself. That sounds like a good death. You must be proud of him. I'd rather he still be alive. My father fell in honorable combat. There is no better way to die. His spirit rests in Valhalla now. And yet I hear you still wanted vengeance for his death. Of course. But if he died honorably and is now in Valhalla, why bother avenging him? Wasn't that a good way to go out? A Viking's code of honor dictates that only blood can pay for blood. It is demanded of us to avenge our fallen comrades in battle. What a stupid rule. Vikings are dumb. What? You dare insult my people? You better be careful, brat. I heard you were quick to anger. I guess that wasn't a lie. Are all southern girls this rude? No, I'm special. Okay, that was a great support. We'll do the rest of the talks real fast so we can talk about Super more. Greetings. You're creepy out here. Hey, we were just talking about Styxia. I am an envoy from Styxia observing the civil war. His Highness, King Kangax, has taken an interest in the conflict. His son, Prince Darius, is also quite vested in the outcome. For what purpose? I do not know. I am just here to do my job. Please do not give my position away to these dragons. I don't know why this guy would just reveal, I'm here on a top secret mission. Don't tell anybody. Like, what?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Sure thing, dude.
This is what we call gameplay ludonarrative cognitive dissonance or some shit like that.
That looks like Tindaris. A civil war has broken out in Timayat, and now it is spreading everywhere. Tindaris, the king's chosen heir, faces off against Ilrodan, the king's eldest. Some claim that Tindaris is the rightful ruler as King Bathu picked him. However, others believe our late king's judgment was lacking in his last days. Tyndaris is only a half-blood, you see. Ooh, some among the nobility dislike that. As for me, I think we should respect King Bathu's dying wish. Take this axe. It might help you against Il Rodan's soldiers.
Here's a Glock.
Yeah, it's also weird that it's like, here's this special axe that is used to kill my people. It's like, alright.
Yo, thanks for coming over here to join our civil war. Here's my racism axe.
Pretty much, yeah, like, you'd think that would be, like, banned. I was like, you know, it's not quite like a Glock, because it's like that, and then I was like, no, I guess a Glock could qualify as the human version. It's quite effective in killing humans.
Who were you supporting Jakka with?
Bodymon. Now nobody.
But I mean, he's gone. So
yeah, we need to pick somebody else. Oh no, it's Caroline. Oh, we probably should have done that. We'll do that. Did I do this? Yeah, I did. Also, another thought before we get back to Super, before we get too far away from the different races talk. Something that annoyed me also a ton about Three Houses is that they established that black people in that game come from, help me out here.
Fodan? I don't remember offhand.
No.
I've never played the game, so I don't remember. Or I don't know. It's
Dedeu's country, which for some reason is not coming to me.
So black people come from the one country, right?
I am super into the idea that, like, the different countries, like, they look different. Like, the people from those countries look different. There is, like, one side chapter where Dedeu's people show up, and they are all, like, super white. And I'm like, they don't look any different. They're just generics from the rest of Fodlan. Elmira or Dusker? Yeah, I was thinking Dusker. And it just really irked me that I was like, you went out of your way to do that, and then you didn't, like, go the extra mile, and you just put in basic generics, and I'm like, either commit to it or, like, don't. Like, it just, it really irked me.
I really don't like when writers go out of their way to add in, like, the black people country into, like, whatever their universe is, and then, like, that particular country, for some reason, it's always just like a side country that you barely get to see anything of, even though it's like the only country to give representation for black people, and it feels very awkward to me. We did this in Andaron Saga, and I don't think it was nefarious or anything. It's just like, you know, it was just like, it just ended up being that way. I wish they could have gotten more representation.
Real quick, Pyrion, give me the power to smite my foes from afar. I call upon your mightiest blessing, a fiery meteor. Alright, we gotta get there. Watch out, Ash is channeling a spell. To me, Elmira is Middle Eastern. Because, minor spoilers, Claude is from Elmira. I mean, he looks it. But, so like, his she take a stat penalty.
So, she does not have the meteor yet. On the next turn, she'll get it, and on the turn after that, she attacks, so you have 2 turns to reach her and kill her.
Okay.
So if you're not able to run in there and immediately blap and kill her, don't put your people in, like, a death spiral situation where they'll be surrounded and killed.
Okay.
Although this is normal mode, so your dudes are probably strong enough to handle it, but it's something to watch out for if you ever do, like, a lunatic playthrough or something for fun.
I see. But yeah, Claude's name was also, like, he was supposed to have, like, a lot of Arabs have, like, their Arab name and English name. I think Asian people do that sometimes, too. But Claude, as far as I understand, was actually planned to have his, like, Elmiran name, which was Khalid. And they decided, I think last minute, that was going to be too hard for, like, other nationalities to pronounce, and they scrapped it. And that's, like, I was like, that sucks. Like, I kind of really like that as, like, a world-building thing.
I don't like that. I don't know, that seems a little weird.
It was, like, I thought it was spoiled for me. I thought people, like, had spoiled that. And then I played all of the Golden Deer route, and that never came up. And I was like, did I just miss that support? Like, what, where was that? And I looked it up, and it was like, no, that was cut. And I was like, oh, I was waiting the whole time, like, when is this gonna, like, become a point of contention, or, like, people are gonna talk about him being from Elmira, and it just never really comes up.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, that was a little bit awkward.
Fred's pretty tanky. You don't have to worry about him too much.
No, I'm also going to kill this guy third, probably. Maybe.
As long as you're able to. Because remember, she gets to move and run away, too, if she manages to blap him.
Yeah, that was my thought. But, back to Dragon Ball Super. Oh, okay, and so a Glock kills with style, Station Square says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree that, like... I'm happy to see Toriyama expanding the universe.
But the problem is that he does the same thing that he always does, which is... So it's really bad. Like I said, he's a really bad world builder. This is his hugest weakness. It's always been his weakness. He's at his best when he's writing character interactions with fun dialogue, and he's writing funny jokes and joke moments and stuff like that.
He's always been bad at it, though, I think, because there's even stuff like
maybe Flux on her. Would Flux on her do some damage against what's her name?
I don't want to put her up that far if I don't have to.
Yeah, but how much damage does she do with Flux? Okay, so she almost kills, which means on the next turn... Oh, no, that's only 10 damage. Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible hit rate. What about her Jarl weapon? No, she's not the Jarl, is she? That's right. Never mind.
No, we'll manage. Yeah. We'll get some people down here. I'm just trying to decide. I probably want her to Nosferatu and...
Did you send Angelus away? I can't remember.
He's just not here because we don't have slots.
Okay. I'm of the belief that a dancer is pretty much required on every single Andaron Saga chapter, at least on hard and lunatic mode. On normal mode, you can probably get away without it, but a dancer is like, oh, here's your strongest unit. Now your strongest unit gets to move and attack twice every turn, so...
But Toriyama's notorious for this, because there's also, like... He commits to, like, power levels and stuff super hard in the early game. And then... I mean, where does that go? Like... And he's had other problems, too, with, like, you know, the most notorious being Launch. The character of Launch that, like, nobody knows today.
My beloved.
That, she is a major player in Dragon Ball. And then disappears. And
like she was vaporized off the face of the earth.
People asked at one point, like, readers wrote in and were like, what happened to Launch? Like, you sent her away on this side quest and she never came back. And he was like, I totally forgot, to be honest. Like, I just completely forgot that she existed. So she left and just didn't come back. But you're still thinking about Armand, aren't you? Why wouldn't I? No reason, it's just that I always found death to be a bit like a bad hangover. It's horrible while it lasts, but eventually you've got to get up and face the day. That's an awful thing to say, Jakka. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend. It's just a way to lighten things up. Is that how you cope with Bodymon's death? Oh no, I cope by imagining all the ways I'm going to kill Mortimer. Even now it sounds like you're joking. That's only half true. Anyway, I am sorry for derailing the conversation. You were thinking about Armand? Armand was a good man, and I did him wrong. You mean with us? Yes, with us. And so now I'm the devil who tempted the virtuous lady. Stop making light of this, Jakka. I betrayed him. Listen, Caroline, you didn't plan for any of this to happen. Neither did I. We're human, we make mistakes. It doesn't justify it. Maybe not, but hey, you can't keep beating yourself up about it. Armand wouldn't have wanted that. You don't know what Armand would have wanted. You're right, I don't. But I know he wouldn't want you to suffer like this. Just stop talking, Jakka. Alright, no more talking, but remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Even if you just need someone to shout at, I'm always here for you. You're impossible. That's what they all say.
So, did I ever tell you about my plans for reworking Caroline?
Yes.
Which is basically delete Armand from existence.
Yes.
I think he mostly drags her character down. Like, that entire conversation was about Armand.
We've had two entire conversations now about Armand. Or 3.
And it doesn't develop her at all outside of her feelings toward him. It doesn't really develop Jakka at all, and I feel like it doesn't develop their relationship much either outside of the context of Armand, and I feel like that really holds her back.
Yeah. I would agree, it's not the best.
It's one of those things that you really don't notice on a first draft, and you do notice once you get through that.
But did you have more to say about Super?
Yeah, so he's just a really bad world builder, and that's my biggest issue. Is I don't like when series immediately blow their load on things like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Is my voice glitching out at all?
Not on my end.
Oh, okay. My internet keeps stuttering, so I wasn't sure if it was happening with my voice.
Yeah, because I get what you're saying, that, like, he dropped all these super powerful people, and it's like, alright, you've greatly, you've multiplied your universe by however many times exponentially. Now what?
Well, here's the thing, like, he could have had Goku, and he could have done the exact same arcs, he could have done exactly everything that he did, except instead of the strongest characters from all the universe, Goku enters, like, the weakest, lowest level tournament. King Kai's like, you're not prepared to face, like, the multiverse or something like that. You can enter the little baby tournament. And Goku's like, I can handle it. And then he gets absolutely stomped in the little baby tournament. And by doing this is actually more epic than by doing, like, the super duper strong one. Because instead of setting up these guys to be super duper the strongest ever, you make them the weakest ever, and they still beat Goku's ass. And by doing that, you make it seem like, if these are the weakest guys, what are the strongest guys like? Yeah. But he doesn't do that, unfortunately, and I wish he would learn that trick. And the problem is, unfortunately, he already did the multiverse card. Like, what the hell's he gonna do next? The Omniverse card? Like, there's pretty much nowhere to go after this. Like, they're gonna have to do one hell of an ass pull for whatever comes after Dragon Ball Super.
They're already... I mean... I know the books have continued beyond the show, so I don't know where we go, because I haven't read that yet, but I do know it keeps it going somehow. Perion has answered my prayers. Fire shall rain from the skies. Everyone, strike at the priestess. She's about to summon a meteor. Yeah, like, I don't know where he's gonna go. Do you think I think the burning question is GT coming? I know Toriyama doesn't like it, but, like...
Does anyone?
I mean, it's kind of fun. I haven't watched it in forever, so I don't know how as an adult I would view it. But, like, I don't hate it.
Probably use the killer axe here. That way. Oh no, wait, never mind. He can kill.
Yeah, I wasn't worried. But like,
so I actually did not watch GT. I mean, I watched a little bit of GT, but I was so bored by it that I didn't watch any further. So
they're in the video games and stuff. So I'm like, I feel like we've committed to GT existing. Period. Rain down your fiery punishment on this heretic.
So, Christopher Merrill says, it's weird, I thought... Oh wow, he crit? Holy crud.
Perion will rekindle my dying embers. Yeah, that was...
You didn't even get to... of Chihiro and Jakka. Is it her calling him a flesh bag and such, because I did find that funny. I don't know what he meant to say there, but I do like... I actually think Jakka and Chihiro is the most interesting pairing. It's my favorite pairing. I would not say it's the canon one, but it's my favorite. I actually would have wanted... Man, I don't want to spoil the end of the game. I will say this. I would have wanted Jakka and Isabelle, actually, to be the canon pairing.
What would you say the canon one kind of is?
At this point in time, I would say the canon one is Jakka and the redhead.
Victoria?
Victoria, yes, okay. Thank you. I don't know my own character names, what the hell.
Adrian is one of the highest-ranking military generals in all of Timaeus. He served our old king faithfully for hundreds of years. For him to plot a coup against the throne upon the king's death, can no one be trusted anymore? First time we've heard that name.
Christopher Merrill says no one liked GT, it was bad. True, brother. Quentin says GT was okay in my standards. Okay, Quentin, we gotta ban you now. Station Square says, well, there's a fan manga about the previous deleted universes by Xeno, way before Goku's time, accidentally coming back due to 17's wish. Wait, what is 17's wish? Android 17? What did he wish?
He wished all the universes to come back.
Oh, really? Interesting. And they, together with a female Grand Priest, start a coup. That's a good point. You could, in fact, do something with the Dragon Balls to reinvent the universe. That could be kind of sick. And you know what I'd like to see? If another writer, not Toriyama, because frankly I don't think Toriyama is capable of doing it, but if another writer who was more capable at world building took over maybe after Toriyama retired, I would love to see something happen that actually deleted the Dragon Balls from existence. And I know that's a big ask considering the show's freaking called Dragon Ball.
You feel like they're too much of a MacGuffin.
I hate the fact that they ruin all suspense of death. I don't like that at all. I'm actually totally okay with characters dying and being seen like in the underworld. I think that's fine. I think it's fine that characters can come back with the help of the witch lady.
Baba.
I think it's fine that they can come back on limited moments or something like that, but I do not like that they can just be wished back from death. It ruins the universe. But so here's my thought. You use the Dragon Balls to wish like
Station Square points out it's not Toriyama writing Super, it's Toyotaro, which I didn't know.
Oh, interesting. Well, one thing I've heard about, I'm going to be straight up here, guys. I haven't actually watched all of Super. In fact, I've only watched a little bit of it. I've watched a lot of videos about it, though, because I just don't have the time to sit there and watch another, 100 hours of screaming. But I've heard one thing that I really like is that they're introducing power tiers. This is something that they should have done a long time ago. So instead of saying Goku is the strongest because his power level is 1 million and his opponent is 950,000, so he just wins, instead they say Goku is S tier and this other guy is also S tier, and so is this other guy. They're all roughly equal, and it's their skill that makes them win. That's smart. That's smart. They should have done that a long time ago. Yeah. But anyway, what I want to see is, I want to see someone make a wish. I'm not going to say exactly what kind of wish because I'm not putting too much thought into it, but some sort of wish that does something that affects the multiverse, that brings back a lot of characters or creates new ones or something. But this wish is so powerful. It overwrites the rules of reality so much, the Dragon Balls just shatter. And all of the Dragon Balls shatter, and they're just gone, and there's no way to bring them back.
We can't totally do that if we're gonna do GT though, because they are the reason GT happens.
Well, I don't really care about GT. I'm just, I don't know. I don't even know where GT is on the timeline. I'm just saying, at some future point, they could use that.
The furthest we've gone is GT.
They could call it New Dragon Ball, or maybe even remove Dragon Ball from the title, and call it, I don't know, the Gohan Saga, because Gohan really should have been a protagonist at some point.
I mean, he was at one point, and then we didn't fully commit to it.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the Buu Saga, Goku's dead and gone. It really felt to me like it was over. That the Goku story was over.
Yeah, and then he just popped back.
I don't know what you said, Bowie. It retracted for some reason. I don't know if you did that. We're talking about Dragon Ball now. We're just talking about writing in general, and Dragon Ball is a fun one to talk about because everybody knows it pretty much.
Yeah, you can use it to draw a lot of parallels between whatever's happening, on the screen and all of that. And my writing philosophy is very specific. I put a lot of thought into it over a great number of years. So here's the way my writing philosophy works. I take all the things that I don't like, and I explicitly avoid them as much as I can. Love triangles, not gonna happen. Teenage angst, not gonna happen. Anything that I don't like, I go out of my way to avoid as much as possible. And it becomes a hard limiter that I set myself to, and I have to think up creative ways around situations that other people might just, use a trope to solve. And I'm no, I'm not going to do that. I got to find another way to solve this. And it leads to creative writing on my part as much as possible. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything. There have definitely been issues that I've had, but it's just something that I try to do.
I have been reborn in Pyrion's flames. Now it's time to punish these heretics.
There are actually 2 Lord of the Rings references on this chapter, and I just want to point out, I didn't write them.
Looks like we have to kill her again. What, is she the red now?
Oh, there's Star Wars references. There's 2 Star Wars references.
Ash the Red. Okay.
We'll see if you spot them. I'm pretty sure you will. It's very easy.
Let's see.
Here's what you do. You have Christina visit the house, so that way she can Kanto to get even more movement, because other units can't Kanto. See, that's being smart.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but she's also the lowest level, so... Oh my gosh, she's adorable. I think Ilrodan is a meanie and a thug. He always looks so angry and upset. I think if he had a nice Manakete wife to marry, he wouldn't be so unhappy. A wife who could take care of him. Someone cute like me, for example. What? I may look quite young, but I'm actually 2,000 years old. Don't believe me? Take this spear. I've killed many Manaketes with it. Would love to see her, like, on the battlefield, just stabbing people, like...
Yatta! So, Bangs actually wrote that dialogue, but originally she said, I'm like 300 years, and I was like, no, we gotta make this more exaggerated. I made it 2,000 for the meme.
Let's see. We'll keep Dawn moving up. Yeah, that's fine.
Dawn, even without Dawn Collar, is still just super busted. Although, I think yours actually isn't that good, right? Yours didn't have very good stats? She's okay? Okay.
Yeah.
It was someone, I don't remember who, but someone had an absolutely crap Dawn.
Might have been Moose or something.
No, his is cracked. Like, his is cracked out of her mind, so it's definitely not him.
But yeah, like, some stories, it's really hard to know where to go. And I do think people need to sometimes set themselves up a little bit better, but that's another, I think, very common writing mistake, is only thinking about the present and not, like, where you're gonna go. Like,
you always have to leave room for expansion. Yeah. Here's another one. Okay. Here's another one.
He hit a 6% crit, and then the next turn hit a 13% crit. Just want to point that out.
That's Fred for you. So here's one of my biggest pet peeves in writing that I try really, really hard to avoid. I couldn't entirely avoid it for Andaron Saga because it's someone else's work. I hate... This is Country X. This is Country X's entire trope. It's called Y. That's it. That's their entire thing. So here's one... I'm not saying this is the case, but like, this is Styxia. Styxia has black people. They have dancers. That's it. Like, you know, I would hate it if that was the case, right? I did add more than that, but I really hate. It's called the People of Hats trope, by the way. People of Hats.
I see. To me, it's more of a character problem that, like, it's like this. I feel like Three Houses is really guilty of that. This is character X. Character X is a noble. That's it. Everything is really, going to be seen through that lens. Everything is related to that, and there is nothing else.
This isn't really a three houses issue. This is a Fire Emblem issue because Fire Emblem does this a lot. They'll have, like, for example, Burn. It's the Wyvern country, right? And that doesn't mean that, like, that's their only like main trait that their people share, but it really feels that way sometimes. And you've got, like, the Pegasus country. Andaron was very guilty of this at first. You had House Windlance. What was their thing? They had wind and lances. What are you looking at?
What does the vendor have?
Oh, no, check.
Okay.
You can check for free.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
As long as you don't buy anything.
Holy fire, and then recover, restore. Do I want any of these things? I probably should.
What does Scorch do? Yeah, it's kind of okay.
Burns target, lowers res by 4. That's not bad.
Let's see. Holy Fire is going to be it's a Reaver weapon. Who do you have that's only anima?
I have one right now.
You got Sham, but he has swords.
I have Holy Fire because the Priestess gave Jakka one. And
what is Bolganone? It's just a strong magic, right? Bolganone?
Extremely
it's just super heavy. Yeah, it's not. So Fire is really good against spiders. It's super effective against spiders, which is kind of nice. You don't really need to go too hardcore. Like, buy the cheapest, strongest one, I'd say. Like, Hellfire is a pretty rounded choice, I would say, for killing spiders. Yeah. You are going to be fighting a lot of terrors once you reach the Styxia arc.
I need 2 or 3 of those.
I think 2 is fine. I don't think you need too many more than that.
Okay. Extra.
Did you also buy physics there?
No.
Okay.
Would have done that if that was an option.
Yeah, physics are very, very good.
Yeah.
And you have, how many staff users do you have on your team right now? I think it's just Sham, actually, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's gonna bite you later on.
I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick.
Okay. I will be right back.
Alright. There's some ruins to the south you can visit with a flyer on this map. Ah, okay. I will do that. Thank you for pointing that out. About to hit time skip in Three Houses, Hayden. I have a lot of thoughts about Three Houses. I hope you're enjoying it, though. I agree, Clock, although in that sense it's easier for independent writers if someone as huge as Toriyama is stuck with investors' interest in his creative process. Yeah, we can talk about that when Clock gets back some. Like, I think that maybe we shouldn't have created so many more transformations for Goku in Super. I'm not super into, like, Super Saiyan God and stuff, but man does it drive merch, so I'm like, that might have been locked into that a little bit. Speaking of Dawn, they're gonna nerf her, I heard. She could, like, I don't know, I think she needs a nerf. She is very good, but I think it's okay to have some units that are really good. But she'd still probably be pretty good unless they just nerf her into the ground. Just watched a generic green unit, Swordmaster, crit and kill Edelgard. That's hilarious. This is Dorothea. Dorothea is very popular, very songstress. Oh, Dorothea. Is very popular, very hot songstress. Commoner, though. Yeah. I definitely agree that that is the Dorothea traits. And everything is related to and about that. And, like, it's not the worst thing ever, but, like, yeah, I just wish that more was done. She had, you know, a little bit more character than that. I don't love how he takes that, so we're gonna go here. Give him some backup. Yeah, we'll keep Sham catching up, too. Who do we still got? Oh, yeah, we got Helga again.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm not fully caught up on chat yet, but we got a little bit. What did I want to talk to you about? We were talking about investors, like Toriyama stuck with these investors, and I was saying, I actually, like, this might be a hot take, I don't like the, Super Saiyan God stuff that much.
I hate it.
I think we should have introduced, like, another, like, subset. Because this is like Kaioken again, like, to me. It's not, like, a new Super Saiyan, like, level whatever. So I think it's just less interesting. And
I didn't like any Super Saiyan except for the first one. I think all of them, each successive Super Saiyan was worse and worse. What they did was...
2 through 4.
Well, I didn't like any of them at all, except for the first one. And the reason I didn't like them is because the moment that you introduce Super Saiyan 2, you have ruined Super Saiyan. And the reason that you've ruined it is because you've weakened what used to be one of Goku's most powerful abilities. There are other ways he could have done, like, a Goku power-up, which I, to be honest, don't think he should have even done. I don't think Goku should have gotten any stronger. I think Super Saiyan should have been the apex of Goku's power, and he should have figured out, like, more clever and interesting ways to rework, like, the entire power system. Because one big issue that Dragon Ball has, it has a very boring power system. You know what you do? You punch people, you kick people, and you shoot blasts. That's it. You could have had, like, elemental abilities. We could have had fire, wind. Like, you could have come up with clever strategies, ambushing people. Like, you know, maybe the equivalent of, like, tactical landmines or something like that. There's a lot of interesting things they could have done with the power system that they didn't do. And the longer they went without expanding it, the harder it became to expand it.
Servants of Fire, come to me! Okay, I figured you'd summon more. I think Hayden is right, though. He says Super Saiyan 2 is fine because the whole point of Cell Saga was Goku trying to break the Super Saiyan barrier. Yes, and I'm still a little frustrated they didn't commit to that harder as well, because it was really cool, to me, the idea that it was like, what if I just, like, stayed like this?
Another thing they could have done,
really neat.
Another thing they could have done, no Super Saiyan 2, 3, or 4, but there is the original Super Saiyan, and Goku figures out a way to pull more from the tap, so to speak. He figures out a way to take the Super Saiyan that we know and love and improve on it. So
most of the military and nobles have sided with Prince Ilrodan. Still, Tindaris is beloved by the commoners and the poor. There are many here who hope that you'll win this battle. He may not look like it, but King Tindaris has a gentle heart. He helped out my family once, gave us food and shelter. I will never forget his love. Here, take this Glock. Help Tindara's flight of victory.
Is it gonna be? Oh, it's not a Glock this time.
Nope.
It's like, oh hey, are you hot? Are you in the hot country? Here's a robe. Keep yourself warm while you're here. So, Christopher Merrill says it's basically, hey, I'm this strong, but then there's another guy who's even stronger now. We're going to get even stronger with these new forms. So I'm gonna make, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I think Naruto was the best of the big three at the time. It was Naruto, it was Dragon Ball. No, actually it was Naruto. It was Bleach. What was the other one? The third one? One Piece. But also Dragon Ball. But okay, yeah. Let's just say the big four. I think Naruto was the best of the big four, specifically how it handled its power systems. Not necessarily the best at writing. Oh, I've got some stuff to say about its writing, but it was the best at how it... Yeah, it was the best in how it handled its power system, because there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened, at least until we got to Shippuden and people just started shooting Kamehamehas because they copied Dragon Ball, but that's beside the point. But it had lots of interesting, like, counterplay and other stuff. Oh, Bijou bombs were stupid. It was dumb. It's terrible.
I thought it was fun.
The moment that you could fling bombs that can destroy countries, it's like, okay, well, you know, throwing kunai in a tricky way doesn't really do the job anymore, guys. But, so Dragon Ball could have done better with how it handled the power system and all of that. Christopher Merrill says, don't even get me started on Fairy Tail's power system. I did not see Fairy Tail, so I have no opinion on it at all. I will say that Lucy is hot, but that's pretty much... That's just like a superficial, like...
He is great at drawing very attractive characters.
I only know her through cultural osmosis, that's it.
I read a decent amount of Fairy Tail, and then I just stopped. And I stopped at, like, the arc where they put, I think it's, like, a barrier and all the male characters, like, get stuck in the guild or something and can't leave. It was something like that, or maybe it was age. I forget. But certain characters were, like, stuck in the guild. And I don't know why I stopped reading it. I just kind of lost interest.
So, going back to Super Saiyan, what I was saying before was that they could have taken just Super Saiyan 1, no Super Saiyan 2, 3, or whatever, just Super Saiyan 1. The problem is, because they have Dragon Balls, this is less viable because you can just bring people back to life. But imagine a moment, a world, where people die in the Dragon Ball universe permanently. And we can still talk to them in the afterlife, but they're gone from the setting. You know, Vegeta sacrifices himself for his kids, and he's really gone. Now imagine a world where that happens, and Goku is fighting these brutal, evil monsters who kill people, and he becomes so enraged that his hair, like, every time that he gets more and more angry, his hair grows a little bit longer each time that he goes Super Saiyan. And this isn't a new form, it's still just Super Saiyan, but he's, like, drawing out more and more of the power in it, and that allows him to become stronger, rather than, like, just a new form that invalidates Super Saiyan. So then anyone who becomes a Super Saiyan after that, and you could keep other people doing that, but anyone who becomes a Super Saiyan after that, they have to be able to do what Goku is. They need to learn, like, what it means to suffer, and that's how you uplift other characters to his level, rather than just, you know, I visited a witch, she touched my head, and now I'm powerful. Like, with Gohan. That was kind of silly.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Gohan is just so weird. Like, I don't know why we won't commit to Gohan more than we did. Like, I don't know.
The problem with Gohan is that
he wants to be a scholar and he didn't train like he should have, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel the best to me.
Yeah, the problem with Gohan is that, to be completely honest, I think you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Toriyama didn't know what he was doing with Gohan. Gohan was just a plot device. He was not a character. And then,
I'll disagree with that.
At the very end of the Cell Saga, Gohan suddenly becomes a character. And he kind of had, like, a little thing here where he was, like, studying. That was it. He studied. He didn't really have any deep or interesting thoughts. He was there on, like, the Frieza planet, whatever it's called, Namek.
All right, here's my take on that. I think Gohan is I disagree. I think Gohan, he had some idea with what he was doing. The one that I think that he had no clue, and maybe still doesn't, is the more we expand on Dragon Ball's universe, and do not have any appearance from Raditz, the weirder that is.
Yeah.
Like, we've done full movies where characters come back from the dead and stuff, like... But Raditz, like, we've had people talk from the afterlife, we went and recruited Frieza, but, like, Raditz being Goku's brother seems like that would be really,
like an interesting
really
plot development, but it isn't.
No, we've never gone back to it, we've never talked about it. And I'm just like, the silence is kind of deafening. Like,
yeah, I think he forgot Goku had a brother, which is kind of weird.
Because at this point, it's like, okay, I don't know, I just feel like you gotta do something with it.
So Hayden says, Clock, I think you're kind of talking about the concept of Super Vegeta, because it's not a new form, but rather just a slightly more potent Super Saiyan. Not sure exactly what you mean by Super Vegeta. I guess that's like when he ascends to Super Saiyan for the first time, maybe?
No, it's, I think it's also during the Cell
does he mean
Saga.
Does he mean Dragon Ball
No.
Super's Vegeta?
No, there's a specific transformation called Super Vegeta. And this, like, is more apparent when you play the video games, and, like, you see it called that. But it's not as apparent in the show. But yeah, he does just sort of transcend what Super Saiyan is at one point.
Interesting.
Like, if
I don't know about that, so
it has
I have no
a
opinion.
mild, like, appearance difference. Like, you could probably Google it. But, yeah, I do kind of think that's what you're talking about. But also, like, you would probably still want more.
You could move... Are you not going to move Bjarkian with, like, a hand axe or something?
He can't get that kill, and I don't think there's a reason to send him down, so I think we just wait.
If you were to do a Great Axe from the convoy, maybe. Well, how much damage is he off by? 8, you're off by 8 damage.
We're off by enough.
Yeah, ooh, that guy has magic too. Yeah.
So,
I'd probably just keep him there.
Just chill.
So,
to catch up a little bit, Yu Yu Hakusho is something else with energy levels. I've wanted to watch that one for a long time, and I just haven't yet.
So I hear Yu Yu Hakusho's power system is very close, like, to Hunter x Hunter in terms of complexity and interest. So I need to watch both of those. I actually watched Hunter x Hunter, but I was an idiot teenager when I watched it, and I thought it sucked.
Oh.
So my tastes were not refined. So I may have also watched like an older version or like a crappier version, because I think there's 2 or 3 different versions.
So.
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
If we want to talk power systems, Hayden says, Pokemon is just how hard you believe in your little rat. Pokemon has had a power scaling issue for a long time. And it's a kid's show at heart, and that's why I think people still enjoy it anyway. But, I mean, that's been a problem.
Now, I'm speaking as someone who only knows Pokemon through cultural osmosis. I did not grow up with it. I actually grew up with Jehovah Witness, and the Jehovah Witnesses called Pokemon pocket demons instead of pocket monsters. So I was not allowed to get into it at all. It was completely forbidden. So I missed that my entire childhood. I missed that train, which is really sad. But when I became an adult, I played a little bit of it. I didn't really get into the anime or anything like that because I'm too old for it now. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, it actually has a pretty good power system. Because, you've got, like, the elements, you've got, like, different types of attacks that are super effective.
I disagree, because it just doesn't work the way that the games, like, make it seem like it should. Because at this point, Pikachu should just slaughter everything. Because he has tons of experience, he should be amazing, and he's just kind of not still.
Ow.
And now they've just
see what you mean.
written Ash out of the show. So I'm just like, eh. What's wrong with the Fairy Tail power system? That wasn't my problem. My problem was just... I don't know. I just lost...
No, someone up above said something about Fairy Tail's power system sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
Do know Allspice, because I did say Dragoons are also armored, you can use the Allspice on them. Thank you for that. I didn't remember that. Chrysadides? I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Welcome. I like your Joey profile picture.
Yugi.
I don't know too much about Fairy Tail, so I can't comment on that too much. I just don't remember it that much.
Yeah, and I never watched Fairy Tail, so neither of us are gonna be like experts on talking about it. Unfortunately, there are so many like I don't know if I'd call them like really good anime, but certainly long-running anime, and it's hard to keep up with all of them. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, it very much is.
I think most anime watchers have watched 1 to 3 of the big ones, and there's probably some dedicated fans who've watched them all. That's not me.
I'd rather read them because I feel like that goes a lot faster. And
yeah,
some of them just aren't worth.
Did you happen to read the Naruto manga?
Yeah, I read the whole thing. Really loved
Nice.
it. I don't think I even watched the ending.
So there's actually a project. It's actually finished. I'm gonna throw a shout out here. What's it called? Let me just scroll through. It's called Rebuild of Naruto. You guys can look up the... I don't know if I can put the link in here.
YouTube doesn't like that, so probably not.
I'm going to try putting the link. If it doesn't work, it's... Oh, this isn't a community server, so I can't do a permanent... Whatever. You guys can look it up. There's a Discord for it. It's called Rebuild of Naruto. Okay. There are a few of them. There's also Naruto Remade or something like that. Naruto Reborn. And the idea is they take like all the pacing issues out in the series and they cut it way, way, way down, trim all the fat. But Naruto Rebuild is really special because it's not just that they totally repaced the show. They actually took scenes that happened later on in the show that give context we should have known earlier. The editor guy did. And he put it in much earlier on. Now this does create some tonal issues because some of the stuff in Shippuden is drawn differently. And it has a different tone from stuff in the original Naruto. And it feels a little weird seeing it early on, but he probably cut the entire show down by like 65%. So if you were ever going to watch it and you don't want to sit through the slog or like have an episode guide to know what to skip, Rebuild of Naruto is a pretty good option for getting into it if you don't want to read the manga.
Yeah, that sounds good. I will also say, out of all of the big three, I think Naruto's power scaling is the absolute best.
Yeah, it is the
best. I know we talked about Biju bombs and stuff, but I'm like, at the end of Naruto,
I guess it's fair that at the end
it's like still threats. Like
the problem starts the moment Madara shows up, and I love Madara. I love me some Madara. He's like probably, I don't know if he's the best villain. He's certainly top 3 for sure.
I think Aizen. Aizen beats.
Oh, I'm talking about Naruto specifically.
I know, but
I think he's top 3 in Naruto, but he's really good. The problem is that at the point that he shows up, when someone throws a meteor at him and he just like tanks it, kind of like, okay, so kunai are not going to be, these weapons will not avail you. Friggin' Lord of the Rings moment.
To catch up a little bit on chat, Vegeta always gets bodied when someone does the thumb thing. I think that's what we're talking about. Hello, Alexis. It's a curse. Oh, I love Pokemon. Hayden does. Ash's Pikachu has the biggest plot armor. Absolutely. It's not just plot armor. He also has the biggest plot, weaknesses. Like, he is as strong or as weak as the plot dictates that week. And so that has always irked me about Ash's Pikachu.
That's something that a lot of anime do, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I don't think as egregious as that. Because it's just... Pokemon is so long-running, it's just like, you have to not suck anymore. Like, there's no excuse. Let's see. I don't know, it doesn't work when you compare it to the games. Anime alone, Pokemon is balanced. Maybe, but I don't know. I still have some, bombs.
How does Longbow do here?
Yeah, I think we Longbow. Not the best, but I'm not getting counterattacked, and I heal on this tile, so...
That's good.
Super Vegeta is a Super Saiyan form that gives up speed for more power, so aesthetically you're Super Saiyan with bigger muscles, and you use massive amounts of energy to maintain it. Yeah.
Oh, that's like what happened with Trunks.
Yeah, that is called Super Trunks as well, but Trunks, I think, just overcommitted. The most egregious example is at the start of Black and White, where Pikachu, who just made it to the semifinals of a tournament, gets bodied by a new trainer who's never fought once.
Oh,
exactly, exactly. And if I was, like, seriously watching the Pokemon anime, that would, like, burn me up. I would just be like, no, this is dumb. Like, you lost because you just need him to. Like, But I am not that invested in Pokemon. But that's kind of the reason.
Well, the other reason is that you're too old for Pokemon now, so it's not like you're too old, like you can't watch it, but you're at the point now where it's like it's very much for your children now, not for you.
Somewhat, like, Pokemon definitely feels like one that they try to keep for everyone. And I think they do a pretty decent job of that most of the time.
By the way, for the final spawn point, it will be up top.
Oh, okay, so don't just charge everybody down.
Yeah, you'll want to keep, like, 1 or 2 people up top to take care of her.
Okay. I'm old by half-blooded standards. I will see my 300th birthday soon. And even that is considered young for a full-blooded dragon. Isn't Tandarus... We just learned Tandarus was half-blood, and he's, like, way older than that.
No. Tandarus is only 200 years old. His brother is 300.
At 200, he looks like he's in his mid-20s. And at 300, he's gonna look like an old man?
Now, so have you seen the series Invincible?
No.
Okay, well, in the series, we learned that the Viltrumites, which is what Mark and his father are the Viltrumites are aliens, blah, blah, blah. But they are effectively immortal, and they can age very, very slowly. What happens is they reach their peak age, and they stay that age for maybe not an eternity, but for tens of thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably works something like that for dragons. So we could say, you know, like she's 300, he's 200, so maybe when he's her age, he'll look like that. But then again, maybe he lives for 500 or 600 years. Maybe he's more pure than her or something. It's hard to say.
All right.
Although you're right in that it's probably a little bit of a plot contrivance.
I think it's a little weird. What I wouldn't give for a drop of pure draconic blood. All right.
I like to think though that the more outbred you are from being a pure dragon, the more mortal you become. So Tandarus is pretty close to being a pureblood because his father was a pureblood, but you know, he's only 1 generation removed. Maybe this old lady is like 5 or 6 generations removed.
Could be.
One thing that isn't developed in Andaron Saga, but really should have been, is the changing dynamics as the half-bloods and the pure-bloods are interacting. I think that should have been more of a focal point.
I see.
Christopher says, I do like how devoted you guys were to making a full-blown Manakete nation. Yeah, it feels like Manaketes are always just like a side thing in the vanilla games.
It does.
I think we wanted to do more than that. You should use anima.
Oh,
if you have it.
Oh, yeah, that's much better. Yeah, we can do that without fear. That boss thing. The thing about Pokemon Origins is that Red and his Charmander continue to go really far throughout the only 4 episodes. Yeah, I love Pokemon Origins.
So Christopher Merrill says, Invincible to me feels like another what if Superman was evil, did this, that, and the third. I disagree because, I mean, okay, you're right in that it is what if Superman was evil, but at the same time, it's a lot more interesting than that. And the comics are going to get into what makes it so good. I finished the comics because I was like so desperate for more after I saw the first season. I'm also very much a big The Boys enjoyer, so I don't know if you've seen The Boys.
No, another one that I'm like Western show, nah. Like modern Hollywood, nah.
You're missing out. That's okay. It's up to you.
From what I've seen, I'm just gonna say, I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good. One of my favorite shows. I really love the fact that they do not hold back on critiques of a lot of the modern world.
That's what I don't like. It's like, I like escapism, and when you get too much into modern stuff, I'm just like, it ceases to be escapism for me, and I'm like, I just don't like this.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't really care about escape. I mean, I like my escapism, but I also like my gritty takes and stuff like that. And I've seen enough Marvel escapism to want like a little bit of something else. Here it is.
I don't like Marvel at all either. You cannot strike me down. Pyrrhion watches over me.
Oh, she didn't say it. Okay, maybe it's next.
That was a ton of EXP. Don't forget to hit the 7 runes. Yes, Hayden, thank you. I'm going to do that, probably with Helga right now. Oh, hello. Yeah, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Yeah, okay.
This one is
that's a lot of
guys.
things.
Oh, wow, they're surrounded.
This is turning into a game of cat and mouse. Oh, now I gotta rush that village, too.
Oh, are there brigands there? I didn't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty easy. You've got a mage. Helga can walk over there and bop if you need to.
Yeah, but I need Helga to visit that, too.
Where's Jaheira? Oh, she's up there, I see.
Yeah.
I think you should still just have Helga bop the mage and run away. Or run over there.
Yeah, I could...
Those brigands are maybe 2 turns away from getting it, I think?
I'm like... I can move like that, and then... How much is your move, actually?
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, because she can reach... she can at least... the brigands always go for attacking someone over going for a village, so...
7, 8. Yeah, she'll
so
make it.
Where does that one brigand move? The one that's closest? I think he moves right in her range, the other one. So he moves to right there.
Yeah.
Can she hit that tile? I think she can. Yeah, I'm 100% she can.
Yeah, what if I go here to get that visit, too?
I think...
I'm not that worried about the mage.
You could have Caroline just go straight for that village, and then Helga visits this ruin, and then she flies over to visit that house.
Okay, I like that.
That guarantees that you can protect the village.
This is the concerning bit.
I think it's less concerning than you think. Do any of those, I think... you have Dawn Caller on Isabel, so that pretty much handles that entire southern situation.
Yeah, I probably need to send her to the right, actually. And then pull Amelia over here. And
how does Christina bop the boss?
Not well.
Oh, wow. Oh, Christina's your lower leveled unit, that's why. Even Ralph near... What's his speed? 25? That's not too bad.
Pretty good.
Too bad he doesn't have a longbow.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole situation kind of concerns me.
So, you know what the scariest unit is on that right side? It's that one, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that one has a proc skill. Did you see what its proc skill was?
Luna?
Yeah. I hate, fundamentally, proc skills on enemies. I think they're absolute BS.
Well, we can do that and get rid of that one.
Oh, there you go.
But then that makes her take all that, which is not good.
Well, how much resistance does she have?
Not a ton. She's gonna take...
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, she has 36... Those enemies have 36 hit rate. That's because she's attacking. They have 15 more if they're attacking her, because she has the Prescience skill.
Yeah, I think what we need to do...
But if you can get a crit on that one Swordmaster, that solves the problem.
It does.
Because the 2 mages won't be enough to kill Jaheira.
There we go.
Ah, yes, the Amelia delete button, always reliable. So, Christopher Merrill asks, does degeneration exist in Andaron? If you guys have thought that far into the lore, are you talking about degeneracy? I don't know what degeneration means.
I don't totally either, in this context.
He might be talking about, like, degeneration of the bloodline? I don't know. Quentin says, man, what I wouldn't give for a magic knight. Yeah. One thing I don't really have a lot of critiques about the game balance in Andaron. I think the game balance is fine. I actually really enjoy playing Andaron Saga. But one thing I will say, I don't like the class roster. I don't like that you can get like 5 berserkers and like 9 dark magic users. I think that's excessive. I think in my advanced edition, I'm not going to be changing that too much. I'm going to keep the game pretty much the way it is. In my clock edition, we'll see. I might take more of a scalpel to trying and diversifying units a bit more. The mana keeps going man thing, it's called degeneration. No, I don't think we have anything like that.
I see.
I don't... Is that even like a vanilla Fire Emblem thing? I don't know anything about that at all.
I forget what it's established in, but something.
How does her Daybreak tome do here?
Probably well. I just don't feel the need. Like,
so Daybreak hits
fine.
defense, so it's probably not good here, but it's very good against magic users. And you know what I've noticed? People never, like, I've watched a lot of streams of this game. I've watched a lot of playthroughs. People never use Daybreak. It's like the least used tome in the game, even though it has 60 uses. It's specifically good against House Rose, and then it's just like, nobody uses it after that.
How does Ralph deal with these things? Does he take a ton of damage? Yeah, he does. Their hit's not great. But I think we do this. I think Jaheira's gonna be okay. You know, I should have been doing this more, but we're gonna save. Alright, we're gonna send Christina to get that guy.
You've got 3 powerful units. I'm pretty sure you can clean up all the major threats in that western area.
I think so. I see the reminder, Hayden. Don't worry, we're gonna do it with Helga next turn. We'll start sending Fred up, probably.
So Hayden says, give more playable Pegasus Knights. We can't even triangle attack, but the enemy can. I would consider it, but I'm less interested in, you know, your prototypical, oh, you have the Pegasus Knights, you can triangle attack. I want to see different types of triangle attacks in my remake. Any like class that has 3 should be able to triangle attack, just for the funsies. So, you know, we've got, what is it? We've got a bunch of Berserkers. He can move on lava?
No.
That's so...
Oh
no, the cliffs. Is that lava? Oh, that's cliffs. Okay, that's different. That's funny, though.
That helps.
Great.
Now, yep, Jaheira doesn't have to take that hit, potentially.
Yeah, there's no triangle attack in this game, Christopher, which is really sad.
It's a fun secret, but genuinely, like, this is a real question to you guys. How often do you use triangle attack? Like,
literally never. I have literally never used it in any sort of genuine, like, strategic context.
No, I've done it
like, oh, once. I just remembered I can do the triangle attack. I'm going to do it for fun, but it never really adds anything.
In one of my mini, like, Path of Radiance playthroughs, I did it, like, once, just to be like, hey, I've done that.
Yeah. There has never been a single time in, like, 20-plus years of playing Fire Emblem that I was like, oh my god, I can't beat this guy unless I have a guaranteed crit. Triangle attack! Oh, these 3 Pegasi that I brought explicitly for this purpose have solved the problem.
Yeah, it's...
I think triangle attack would be better if it not only guaranteed a crit, but it also ignored enemy defense. Then it would be, like, overpowered, but at least it would have, like, a really important use. Or maybe if it's not a guaranteed crit, but if it only ignores enemy defense, then it's a guaranteed use.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it ignores their defense and their resistance. And that way you can like, punch through even the strongest enemy.
Christopher Merrill says, I used it a few times in Echoes. I mean, fair enough then, fair play. I just have never actually used it. You could potentially do a Kurt Haley Runa triangle attack. That could work. Because in Path of Radiance, that's how it happens. It's Rolf, Oscar, Boyd, and it's only if you have all of them do some sort of promotion that gives them access to bows.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it ends up being like Paladin, Warrior, Sniper. So I'm assuming she's gonna pop up like here.
Yeah, that's the final area.
Alright.
Good guess.
We need to send people to be ready for that.
I think you could just send Sham straight up towards Garam. Yeah, there you go.
This has been a fun chapter. I've liked it.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of, I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite chapters. This, you know what? I'm going to check something really quick. Who made this chapter? Because this chapter is very mellow and simple. Ooh, he had a Horse Slayer.
Yeah, I didn't see that, and I should have.
Yeah, you didn't blap the one with the Slayer weapon. That could be dangerous.
Good to be, good to be.
Oh, shoot, there's a Wyvern up there, Wyvern Flyer.
Yeah, I missed that too. I missed that entire respawn, or spawn.
Let me just check. So where did I post it? Resources. Where's resources? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is chapter Pyrion's Envoy. PH made this chapter.
We're okay.
Yeah, so PH made this chapter. This is actually one of his easier chapters, unless you're on Lunatic. That's brutal.
I don't know about Lunatic, but yeah, this has not felt like one that I have to... Like, we've been talking a lot. I've not been in, like, focus mode. Whereas, you know, some of these other chapters, we haven't been able to talk about, like, writing and stuff, just more in a more general sense as much, because I've just been in heavy, like, focus
Yeah, we've been
mode.
very frantic on those.
I mean, we're gonna have to... Yeah, you're gonna have to die.
I think you might want to, do you have a bow on, your, Ralphnir? Can he blap that promoted unit?
No, he's got a hand axe.
Too bad.
He's got a hand axe, like... Yeah.
Oh, he doubles. Okay, well, there you go. Nicholas says, hi, just passing by to say hello. Just wanted to see how far you are, still avoiding spoilers. Hey, Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas.
Yeah, there's definitely spoilers in this stream, so I would recommend that you guys go back and rewatch Nihil's stream from the very beginning. If you're if you want to avoid spoilers, like, go back to his earlier streams. Him and I have been streaming since episode 2, so I wasn't there for the first, like, 3 chapters, but I came in on chapter 4, and we've been talking about the story and stuff a lot.
Yeah, Nicholas has been around.
Quentin says, fire and ice is not nice.
Yeah, Sham triangle attack. I don't think he's that good yet. Well, maybe one day, if he eats his vegetables. Alright, let's do, what do you have? Do you have anything dumb? You do. Of course you do.
Well, does she have a sword?
Yeah, she does.
If she has a sword, just make sure you equip the sword first.
Well... I was trying to go down one item.
Oh yeah, that would have been very bad.
Thank Lord Pyrion, you've arrived. I've heard bandits are coming. Whenever there's internal strife, those human marauders rejoice. Please take these magical boots. May they carry you to Tendaris. Help us stabilize the country. Got a boots.
Yeah, this is why you definitely want to get to that one. And don't use those boots yet, because those boots are going to be very useful for another unit.
Alright. Alright, hear me out. What's your move? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang.
No, that's
1,
smart.
2,
Yeah,
3,
you do
4,
that,
5,
then she
6.
heals. Yeah, and then you can run back, and yeah, it's smart. I was actually going to suggest that.
I am
She heals off this.
Yup. Hello, clearly main character. Oh, hello there. I didn't expect to meet anyone all the way down here. What do you think about this layout? It's pretty beautiful, don't you think? Why am I asking? It's not important. Have this for your troubles.
So that was Lemon Tart's OC, I do believe. He's the guy who made the maps for Andaron Saga.
I see. That's a cute little Easter egg. I like stuff like that. Oh, a lot of EXP. Thank you, Lemon Tart.
I think the EXP is penance for having to send a unit all the way down there.
Yeah, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, this is a whole thing, huh? This is like a whole situation.
This is really the chapter where Sham should have shined a little bit just because of his effective weaponry against dragons. One really interesting thing about this chapter is that dragoons are considered dragons and so are wyverns, but the other units, even though they're all Tomatians, are not. So, like, the mages are not considered it. In my remake, I actually want to make it so that everyone is considered a dragon for the purposes of dragon-slaying weapons. And we can actually do that very easily. We can actually make, like, a global tag for each chapter that says all enemy units on this chapter are considered the dragon type.
I see.
So, in my remake, we can make it so that way if you bring a dragon-slaying, like, Ice Tome or something like that, it'll be effective against every unit.
I want that guy to die real bad, because I don't like what he's working with. But nobody doubles him.
Well, you got Dawn Caller, so surely... Oh, wow, really? Damn.
That's Forest Tower, that's Peak. So you can't walk on that. So I'm like, if I put her here, she just blocks at my thing.
And how much damage does she take? Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
you know what you could also do? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
I was gonna say you could,
yeah,
attack the other one down below.
I should have done that, but
That's whatever.
I think we'll be alright. Also,
you've got 3 units, 3 kills. Assuming there's no other units down below you or nearby. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah,
that's not an issue.
I definitely should have checked though. Okay. Yeah, I want her to end on that kind of tile. Dragon Spear time. Oh yeah.
Boom, baby.
Give us one more flyer from Tamea, and you could do a Jaheira, Miriam, insert character here, triangle attack. I see.
So I have this idea, a silly idea, mind you. This idea that Jakka could gain additional promotions if you support and do like some very specific things. So like maybe if he supports with Jaheira, he has the option to promote to like a Wyvern. Or maybe a Dragoon, actually. A Dragoon. So that could be kind of neat. I don't know if we'll actually go with that at all, but be like an optional Easter egg promotion.
That sounds fun.
And when you go to promote him, instead of him just automatically promoting to his preferred class, you can pick which of the ones you want him to promote to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, I think we keep Fred moving up. I'm trying to decide if I want to go left or right.
Right's probably better, just because you only have to go over one tile that obstructs your movement. And yeah, can you actually go up through the? Oh, so you see that passage through the mountains to the left?
This?
Yeah, that was originally closed off. Wait a minute, check it again. Are those tiles movable?
Plain.
Plain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can pass through there, but you have to go through houses and ruins slow down your movement a little bit, whereas the right side does not.
Nice.
So you only have to worry about the fort slowing you down slightly, so it's better to go up that side.
All right. I'm probably gonna need more than just this though, as well.
Oh, you've got plenty of turns.
Yeah.
Normal mode is very forgiving.
I also don't necessarily want him to get shot.
No, Fred's fine because he's got a lot of resistance. As long as you give him a javelin, he cleans those guys up.
Oh, that's true. Alright, then we gotta deal with this. Yeah.
I think maybe Sham actually blaps this mage, that way Garm can run in with his longbow on Ash.
I was gonna heal him, but yeah, that might be better. How much does that do? It's not.
She doesn't move, so you might miss, I guess. That's fine, yeah.
My thought is I'm not ready for her to spawn more stuff.
Yeah, and she's not doing her meteor this turn, so yeah, healing him's probably fine.
Here, we'll do that first.
So Sergio says, but doesn't the current lore say that dragons are like as close to full blood as Tamasians get? Like, I'm all for it, but Jakka's no dragon, I believe. Yeah, but he learns, like, he doesn't make him a dragon, okay? Unless, like, I don't know, Jaheira, like, infuses him with her half-dragon blood, but that's silly. No, so it works like this, okay? So Elmer can become a war mage, but he doesn't have the Slayer skill that, in theory, all war mages, or I mean, all war monks should have. So he's a war monk in practice. I mean, he's a war monk in theory, but not like an actual one. It could be the same thing with Jakka. He's a dragoon, but not like weak to dragon weapons.
Yeah.
Also, if he was weak to dragon weapons, that would objectively be his worst promotion, because he also wouldn't get swords or axes. He would only have lances.
Mm-hmm. Isabel doubles now? Wow.
Huh? What the heck? Why did she double? I'm thinking about that. She wasn't in resolve range. Did she get like a point of speed on a level up and I missed it?
It was a swordsmaster and he swapped to his Anbato from a killing edge, so maybe
okay, it's a little heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, impressive.
See what I said? Like, it's no threat.
Yeah.
You cannot singe Fred's threads.
More dragons are on their way. Okay.
And she still hasn't even begun activating her meteor, so...
Yup. We got plenty of time to get into position. Are any of these guys about to level? You kind of are. Put her, let's see. Yeah, we'll put her up here to get ready to take them on and get that, probably.
Yeah, Isabel
Or
with
I could
Dawn Caller...
start
Isabel with Dawn Caller does not GAF about any enemy, like in the game. She just deletes them all.
Yeah, that works, because then she'll get attacked back, probably, and that will start, I just kind of want to start the boss.
Yeah, who do you want to get the boss kill level up?
Ooh, good point. I don't know.
Jaheira and...
Jaheira would be a good candidate.
What's Garam's level?
He's alright. I mean, we'll give him a shot at it. Why not?
By the way, did you end up replaying the last chapter off stream at all?
No.
Okay.
I forget. Why was I going to do that? I've totally forgotten.
Probably to see the other conversations and stuff, and also I think like to do some grinding on the enemies that show up for Skilla. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
You don't really need to grind. I think all your units will probably get to level 20 if you keep basically the same force over the next like 10 chapters. So.
Yeah, we'll see if we do. You've made it seem like we're gonna get a couple more characters, so like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who we like and who we don't. I don't care.
The Dragoon promotion would be more like a cosmetic, Nameless X says. So he just gets. Aren't you glad you gave him all those resistance boosters?
Yeah, I'm still not upset about it. Like, him having more res is not gonna hurt him. I'm gonna send her down for a second to heal. And then I think we passed her.
So I want to talk about something that has nothing to do with Andaron Saga at all. A new AI image generator just dropped recently. It's called Dolly 3. That's DALL 3. It's really good. Oh, we'll wait.
Oh, God blast it all. That Buster's men are here again. You strange hooligans always following me around. Can't this divine take a rest at his vacation houses alone? Butler, Jeeves, kick these ruffians out and get my tea. Yes, Master Ferdinand.
Yeah, so he has a unique conversation with his pupils, and then he gives them items.
I like that.
But, so this new image generator just dropped called Dolly 3. It's actually ridiculous how good this generator is, because they've finally gotten text 95% coherent. Like, it's coherent most of the time. Sometimes the images come out a little bit garbled, but you can generate, like, manga panels and stuff like that with it. It's very accurate at following your prompts.
Cool.
Someone generated a very funny image of a pit bull leaping into the air with like a sword, and then like a million babies underneath him charging at him with swords. It's very funny.
Let's see. I think we're gonna send him up and Sham up. The two of them as like a power couple should be able to handle whatever gets thrown their way. Oh, I was gonna have him kill the boss. Whoops. Oh well. I'll send her up too. And Caroline will catch up one day. Good afternoon.
Even if
hey,
she...
Crimson Phil. Also, hey, Nameless X.
Hey, Crimson's here. Very nice to see you, dude. I remember you from previous streams.
Is the Holy Fire, is that the dragon flame breath animation? Is that what that is?
It is, yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Dang,
Great
Isabel.
Level. Wow.
What do you mean great level? That's just your typical Isabel level.
Yeah, she still gets credit though. Wait,
you know one thing I really...
Christopher asks, so Alonda is no longer playable after the whole Scotty dilemma?
Yeah, she's not playable anymore, unfortunately. You gotta remember, too, she was originally intended to die, so she wasn't supposed to even be in the game at this point.
It's still weird to not make her playable, like...
Well, she's extremely weak now. She's not like, Helga. Like, she is rapidly aging, as we'll find out.
I get that, but I'm just like, I think that, I like... There's logic, like... You can agree or disagree with it, like, but there was logic with, Bodymon, like, not being playable anymore.
Well, because he
And
died.
Yeah, but like you gave Jakka something for that. Like if you put a bunch into Bodymon. So it's weird to kind of not continue that logic to me. That's like, okay, what if I leveled the crap out of Ayla? And then she just
it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Like,
makes you wonder.
I sense there's more there, so I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah. Who knows? Anything's possible.
Alright.
Can Jaheira reach Ash?
Can Jaheira reach Ash?
Oh no, she's too far.
No.
Oh no, she's too far. It's too bad.
We can just have Isabelle get it, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. She needs the levels. And having a strong Isabelle for the frickin' Tomb of Horrors, not a bad idea.
Oh, it'd still take one more. But we have one more, so... Oh, she actually damaged me that time. What was that?
Oh, it was Flare? Yeah, she has the Flare ability.
Oh, okay.
That's actually kind of ridiculous against Isabelle, because Isabelle has insane resistance.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Crimson says there is benefits to having leveled Alonda. The more levels she has, the higher value gold of a gem you get when you defeat Skill. I didn't know that, actually. That's smart.
I didn't either. Wow, okay.
I don't even know what gem you got from her, but yeah.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, Mings did put in a lot of subtle, like, catch-up mechanics like that if you leveled up characters who go away. I just don't know what they all are.
Yeah, that makes that look a lot better. Okay. So, yeah, let's visit that with Sham. Thousands of years ago, there was only dragons living in Temayet. Then the Manichees had to take human form for reasons unknown. Then human settlers arrived from Andaron, creating the first Fyries. Having strong draconic features is a sign of status in Temayet. Reptilian eyes, pointy ears, even scaly skin is seen as having power.
Thank you, little
for
boy.
The exposition, yeah, small child.
See, that kind of exposition is the sort of thing that could be easily cleaned up if I just had more time. But, you know, just didn't.
Okay, so I don't want that guy to be in range of her.
Why? What's with that guy specifically?
Horse Slayer. I'm paying attention.
Can you just run her up there and blap him?
No.
No.
No, we need one more turn for those guys to get closer.
You have Dawn on... Can you put Dawn on the fort and have her just tank a few of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, move her back a little bit, like right on that forest, maybe.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we can put Dawn on the fort with lightning, and then Ralph near here, I think. Alright with that. Yeah, I'm good with Ralph near being in range of, like, one. And we'll start sending Jaheira over.
That's smart.
Then, yeah, you need to start getting up there. You keep going. And I think that's about where we need to be with them.
There is one thing I don't like about this chapter, and that's that you spend a lot of time walking places.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you check to see what was in the armory too? I don't know if I. Yeah, that's right. It was Reaver. It was Reaver weapons. That's what it was.
Is there two armories? There's one I didn't visit.
Oh, is there?
I didn't visit this one. I visited that one.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know there was two. Okay, cool.
I assume it's the same.
No, there's different items. Different armories,
okay.
Different items.
Well,
they probably put two here because there's a limit on the number of items that you can put in there, I think. So, yeah.
Black gem. You get a black gem if you get her to level 20. Oh, how much is that worth?
I think it's worth 20,000, so it's worth a lot.
You fight with such conviction, but I will not lose faith. That is
almost a full level off that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely the right call on who got that.
Yeah, the other thing too is boss experience is more valuable on higher leveled units because they have such a hard time gaining levels. So
Crimson Phil says 25k. Is that what you said? I think
I said 20k. It might be that 20k is for gold gems. I don't remember offhand. White gems are 10. Red is 2,500, blue is 5,000. I obviously didn't list those in order of any sort, so whatever.
Yeah, I got blue or white, I think. Oh, that's cute.
I think it was white, because you sold 2 white gems, so it's probably worth 10,000.
I didn't level Ayla at time. I know that. Oh, hello. They keep striking me down. If this continues, I'll be... No, I will not lose faith. Hyrion, grant me strength. How many times do we have to strike that witch down? Oh, hello. Ash still hasn't beaten these foreigners. Guess I'll have to get my claws dirty. I hate putting my tail on the line.
So because you did not kill Leonora, you can recruit Miriam. I don't think you actually have to talk to her. I'm pretty sure she just joins you at the end of the chapter, but select Jakka. Or, yeah, see if she has a talk with anyone. It should say on her page.
Oh, okay. No.
Select Jakka, see if he has a talk with her. After you do this.
A lazy but strong wyvern knight from mate with a selfish attitude. Sorry, what'd you say?
Just see if Jakka has a talk with her. I think only he does. Nope. Nope. So she just gets auto-recruited at the end of the chapter. If you just beat... I don't even know if killing her prevents you from recruiting her. I think you can still recruit her even if you kill her, but I'm not 100%.
I see. I don't like that. Okay, let's...
He's positioned just out of range. Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah.
Is Jahira nearby? Oh, no, she doesn't have...
She's not. None of my flyers are nearby to deal with that. Yeah, this is like a whole thing.
Oh, wait, Longbow Garum.
Yeah, he can shoot that.
I think you definitely want to take care of Mr. Defense Piercer down there. Like, he's very, very high priority.
You think run down and do that?
Yeah, because that guy can attack the entire area of effect, so you've got to take him out. Ooh, 76, though.
Yeah, I'm worried about this guy, though, too. He's not...
Well, yeah, but you've got Sham right there with wind, so he can take care of him.
Yeah, but Sham's also got, like...
I think Sham would be fine. Like, what are these guys' hit rates? That guy doesn't even... Well, that guy has a Flame Lance, so when he switches to a physical...